we had also a few injuries as well, but probably no different to other clubs. But we're just beginning to find our feet a little bit again, and the players you mentioned, they're all beginning to step up.
What's your club or country's sliding doors moment? Its meaning originating from the 1998 rom-com of the same name, a sliding doors moment in football terms is simply a question of what might have been. An incident in a game where, had it gone the other way, would have altered history. For example, say John Terry had scored that penalty in Moscow in 2008. Chelsea would have been European champions and Avram Grant would have the biggest medal in continental club football to his name. It stands to reason then that he would have stayed at Stamford Bridge for a bit longer, meaning that Luis Felipe Scolari wouldn't have got a look in. Would he have done better than the World Cup winning Brazilian, who only lasted till February the following year? And could he have improved upon Chelsea's third place finish? And as for United, who won the title that season, would defeat in that Moscow final have led to Cristiano Ronaldo leaving the club for Real Madrid a year earlier? And would that have meant that Rafa Benitez's Liverpool won the Premier League instead of them? That's a pretty big butterfly effect, all from one missed penalty kick going the other way. And if you want to dig a bit deeper, there's plenty more that could have been affected. What if Anthony Knockaert had scored his penalty against Watford? We'd have been denied the Troy Deeney moment, sure, but might Leicester have gone on to win promotion to the Premier League earlier than scheduled? And would that have meant that Claudio Ranieri would never make it to the King Power? Would Arsenal or Tottenham, therefore, have been champions in 2016? The most significant sliding doors moment perhaps ever, though, was Paul Gascoigne, Wembley, June 1996. What if this had gone in? That golden goal would have sent England to the Euro 96 final against Czech Republic. 30 years of hurt could well have come to an end. There's so many of these moments that could have altered destiny forever. What if Shearer had signed for United? Would Lampard's ghost goal against Germany have kick-started England's World Cup back in 2010? What if Sam Allardyce didn't get bogged down in all that controversy and denied Gareth Southgate the England job? Does make you think.
Okay, here we go. 6:05. It's Friday the 6th of March. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Our good friends at Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Ali with you this morning, and joining me in the studio is former Invincible and player of what do they call him? Set Piece FC now.
Set Piece FC. Yeah, how you doing, Ali?
Brilliant, Ray. How about you? I was needing that cup of tea this morning, right enough.
Oh, I needed that today.
Get it, mate.
Nice, isn't it? Another cup of tea.
The good mornings are just coming in, though, aren't they? I can sense a wee turn in the weather.
Yeah, absolutely. This week's been lovely. Yesterday was beautiful. I had a little stroll through Food Town. Going to a little gig down at Balls Brothers. You been to the Balls Brothers?
No.
Oh, it's a lovely place. Down in Fenchurch Street. It's like down in the basement, but you got like a room of like 120.
Yeah.
And we had a little bit of a laugh down there yesterday afternoon.
Brilliant.
Yeah, Alan likes going up there. But yeah, Paul Coyett. You remember Paul?
I remember quite well.
And he was going, it's a big game tonight, Ray. It's a big game. I've got to go straight to the Tottenham Stadium because he does the old announcing.
I know he does. I see him when I go there, Ray.
Yeah, he's a great lad.
Great
Paul.
lad, Coy.
Really, really good lad. And he was a little bit worried, but I thought, I said to him, Paul, don't worry, mate. I think you might get a result tonight.
So did I, mate.
No, I was totally wrong. Absolutely, totally wrong.
I was
Unbelievable.
so wrong myself, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I thought?
they might do something to...
So did I, mate.
I haven't won one game this season. This year.
By the
way. This is amazing.
And I watched it. And up to Cross Road, I came down last night. I came down about tea time flight, mate. And then up to Cross Road and watched it, and I was like, dear me.
Yeah. Not a lot. There's not a lot there.
Oh, mate.
But I'm looking at teams around them, Ellie. I mean, look at
something about them.
West Ham against Fulham. They had a little bit of they're battling.
Ray, that's what I said yesterday. I was on a show yesterday, right, with Gab, and I was talking about the game last night. But at that time, obviously Spurs, and I said the one thing the Spurs supporters need and deserve is the level of commitment that the teams around them are showing.
Yeah. And Forest showed a lot of spirit coming back.
At City,
West
Ham obviously at Fulham.
So they've got to show that a little bit more spirit. They've got to show that.
I tell you what, from what I've seen over the last 2 nights or 3 nights, I think Spurs look as the ones that will go down.
Well, they've got to turn it around very, very quickly. I think they've got Forest next, haven't they? No, they've got Liverpool
and then Forest.
And then Forest. Forest is the one, isn't it? I mean, they've got to try and somehow get a result against Forest now. But, I mean, it was empty half time, wasn't it? Everybody just left. And I can see their frustration. I mean, it's not good enough, really. I mean, they've got the stadium, they've got everything going for them, got great support. And the players are just not doing it.
It's amazing, mate.
And you can always look at managers, don't get me wrong, but you got to look at the players. The players just 100%. Don't care.
100%.
When you put that shirt on, you've got to go out and give your all for your own personal pride as well.
Correct, mate.
Really.
That's what that line, that kills me, that line, he's lost the dressing room and all that. Regardless of that, you've got your own personal pride that you're playing for.
Absolutely.
And I'm watching them last night and I'm thinking to myself, forget about the manager. I mean, the manager might have been a strange appointment. We probably should have gone for Harry or Glenn or something like that just to give the whole place
a lift.
Regardless of that, the level of commitment and performance for the players, Ray, is miles
not good enough.
short.
It's not good enough.
Absolutely miles short.
And Tudor said it straight away. They've got to run more. They've got to show more commitment.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. He's been there. He's been there a couple of weeks, a week, and he said they're not doing enough.
It's no tactics. It's no formation.
You want it more. You got to want it more than the opposition. On paper, the quality's there. But if the other team fault you usually during the game, then you lose the game. Simple as that.
I felt for
as a youngster, Pat Rice always said to me, "You've got to win the battle first before you can start playing."
Yeah,
and that's what you got to do. And so Tottenham are not showing that at the start. So
true, isn't it?
It's a real problem at the moment for Spurs, and I don't know. They've got a bit of time off now, haven't they? I don't think they're in the FA Cup, are they? They're not in this. So they've got a bit of time off to think about what they're going to do going forward. But Liverpool away next, then Nottingham Forest. And they got in between at Atletico Madrid.
Home and away. I'm going to that again. That's Tuesday, Madrid, dear me.
You've got to fancy Madrid now, haven't you?
100%. Well, Liga Tudor was brought in to replace Thomas Frank, and after 3 defeats for 3 games, as you correctly said, he's not exactly been fireman Samson's coming in, has he? But here he is speaking to the Moose last night after the game.
Can I ask you a blunt question to finish with? Spurs are 1 point above the bottom 3. A lot of fans left tonight early. Some left at half-time. They rang our radio station. Some left before the end of the game. Can you stand here seriously and tell them that you will save them? You'll keep them up?
I already said. I believe more after this game than before. Believe me.
You see, I don't understand that.
No, neither do I.
I believe after last night.
He's got to say what he's got to say, right? I get that, but I don't think he can be saying after what I've seen, I believe it more.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to say something along the lines as well, got to fight their hands, this, that, and next thing. I believe we can do it. But no, after what I saw last night.
No. And obviously, sending off doesn't help. You got Romano, the captain, he's sitting in the stands. Now you've got Van der Ven, who's one of their best players. Yeah. He's now free game banned, isn't he? Is it straight red? So he's a free game ban. It's just all
you couldn't believe that, could you?
It's a nightmare, really.
You get the break.
I've got lots of Tottenham mates, and
mate,
they're devastated. They can't watch. They said I couldn't watch it last night. I'm not going to watch it. I can't watch it.
Seriously?
Yeah, they're getting to a stage where they're so nervous about going down, which I thought about 3 weeks ago. Oh, they'd be fine.
So did I, mate.
Now, with what I've seen from Forest, what I've seen from West Ham, they're banging it.
Right, I'm the same as you, mate, and I bet you.
Leeds will be looking. Leeds have got to be
looking over their shoulder as well.
Leeds have got.
Solomon at Sunderland.
We said, they've got Wolves at home now, but Wolves,
they've picked up.
They're flying.
I was they played well against Liverpool.
Unbelievable, and they've got plans tonight. You're doing the game tonight.
FA Cup, I'm out for FA Cup, mate. Well, if like fans of most other clubs, you enjoy what's happening at Spurs right now, and you tune into the sports bar, then last night, by all accounts, was unmissable. I did hear a little bit of it, by the way. Jason was officially playing Keep Me Up with Jamie.
It's a simple question. Are you going down?
Yes.
We are the only team in the Premier League ever to bring in a new manager, to get a new manager bounce, and we get a worse bounce.
Okay, you get a new manager trounce, not bounce.
Like, I'm trying to do a show here, I'm trying to have a say, and you're going to sit there and just try and mug me off for 2 hours. I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it.
So there is the poo.
I'd actually take Big Ange. It's got to that point. I would actually take Big Ange. I could do a better job. It is embarrassment. An embarrassment.
You're going down. No, seriously, last time. You're going down.
Shut up! Don't ask me again.
Realistically, it could be Tottenham Lincoln next year.
It could.
I'm not disrespecting Lincoln, by the way.
By the way, it could.
They're flying in.
They're having a great season.
They're flying in League One.
What did he say there, pal? O'Hara? Did he just say, well, with a new manager, worst bounce?
Yeah. You usually get a bounce of a new manager. The bounce has gone the other way.
A new manager, worst bounce. I mean, that's remarkable. Oh, he's devastated, isn't he?
Well, you would be if you're a Tottenham fan. You'd be so worried. I mean, it's a situation now. Forest, what I saw against City, they showed really good spirit. They look good on the break. They've got good players.
Couple of good goals. I thought Anderson's goal
was fantastic.
Wasn't that a great goal, Ray?
Really good goal. You've got to be looking at Foden a little bit there. I mean, track your runner. A little 1-2 round him.
You got to match him.
And he didn't even run after him.
You got to match him, ain't you?
So
you know what you do? You knock and you stick an arm.
And even Gibbs White, that little flick, that back heel was superb. You know, it's just instinct, wasn't it? You wouldn't even think about doing that. No. Do you know what I would have done? I'd have been looking for a player to
coming for the edge of the box,
have a shot. But he's just a back heel, and obviously no.
And by the way, it's one of the best goalies in Europe. He's beat.
Yeah.
You know.
So look, they've shown a lot of spirit. And West Ham going to Fulham after Fulham played so well against Spurs at the weekend. I didn't see West Ham. I thought West Ham, if they get a point, it's a good point away from home.
Right. We do our predictions. With Fletcher, I work with. We do our predictions before the game. We've got a wee competition going. And on, I think it was Wednesday night. It was last night. Beg your pardon, Wednesday night. I said to him before the games, I said, do you know something? I said, see if I could change one prediction for this week right now. He said, what would it be? I said, I think West Ham will get something at Fulham. I've just changed my mind. I originally went 2-1 Fulham.
Yeah, I went Fulham.
I just had a feeling before the game that West Ham would maybe get some. Yeah. And by the way, how well's he done, the boy Somerville?
Oh, what's it?
Him and Boy.
Tell you what, look, it was a bad mistake from Leno. There's no doubt about that.
Where was he?
He still had a little bit to do.
Of course he did.
He had to go around one player and keep his composure and brilliant goal.
Took it well, mate.
Absolutely fantastic.
Okay, guys, come on then, Spurs fans. If you can, please get yourselves up your bed this morning. Today's another day. Give us a call. We need to hear from you. 03717 2233
Where's George?
44. Igor Cheddar says his boat is heading in the right direction. Is the destination, sadly, for Tottenham fans, the Championship next season? Because that's the way it's looking. Are there fans of other clubs that feel sorry for Spurs? I bet there's not too many. Or is a possible relegation being celebrated all around the country? As I said, 03717 2233 444. Get your calls in now. Up next, we turn our attention to the back pages and whether Igor Tudor genuinely could be sacked after only 3 games.
It's just who we are, mate.
Let's go to Lauren, who's Arsenal fan. All right, Lauren?
Lauren?
Oh, hi, Jamie. Sorry, it's actually Laura, the Arsenal fan.
All right, Laura.
Hi, how are you, boys?
Yeah, we're good. How are you? You feeling good?
Up the Chelsea.
Oh, I'm feeling great. I've just come fresh off the back of presenting the Arsenal game on TNT and just, to be honest, really enjoyed it, Jay.
Oh, it's Woodsy.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Jamie!
Woodsy, you've done it.
What's happening?
Woodsy, why is it taking you so long to phone us up?
Do you know what? I've been revelling in a brilliant season and I've just been enjoying myself.
You know what? It's bad if Woodsy's phoning us up. It's bad.
About
Hold on. Where have you been when you've been bottling it, Woodsy? What's happened? All of a sudden you go 7 points clear and you phone us.
Jamie, I had to scroll down my phone. It took about 5 minutes to find you on the table.
Oh, Woodsy, this is a
scrolling.
Spurs ain't even played and it's the worst night for us ever. I'm like, what is going on?
I don't even want to answer questions. I just want to ask you how you're feeling.
Woodsy, take the floor. Woodsy. I'll sit back and enjoy it. All right, take the
Woodsy,
floor.
I feel sick. I feel sick as a dog right now, honestly.
How awful is it? How bad on a scale of like 1 to Spurs is it right now?
I can't believe I'm getting stick off Woodsy.
Woodsy, can I ask you
up talkSPORT?
Woodsy, can I ask you a question? Woodsy, do you want Spurs to get relegated?
If I had a choice of which one, is that what you're asking me?
Woodsy, answer whatever way you want, right? Do you want Spurs to get relegated?
No, I absolutely don't want Spurs to get relegated because I want to enjoy more North London derby pummeling for years to come. For years to come.
Yeah.
All in all, was just another brick in the wall.
The wall. Yeah, wall.
The wall. What a song, man. Right, as we know, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Alan Ray with you this morning. That is another brick in the wall, a classic. And it's great news by the legendary English rock band Pink. Who wrote Pink Floyd here, right? I mean, that's just laziness, that. Pink Floyd. The great Pink Floyd. And I'll tell you why we're playing it, Ray.
Go on.
I can't believe it. Legendary guitarist Dave Gilmore is 80 today.
80?
80, man. So we want to wish Dave Gilmore a quite remarkably happy birthday, Dave. Have a brilliant birthday, Dave. And the great news is, Ed, we need to play Pink Floyd for a lot of the morning. So for the next link up, we need to have the guitar solo to comfortably numb. Yeah. Producer is looking at me through the glass there. Not too many complaints coming away. I'm getting a nod of the head.
Yep.
So if that's not a reason for you guys out there listening, hang on, because we're going to be playing a bit of Pink Floyd. Okay, we did ask for you guys out there to give us a call on 03717223344. That's the number to call. Mike's a Spurs fan. Mike at 6:21 has given us a call. Mike, good morning. Appreciate the call. How are you this morning?
How you doing, Mike?
Absolutely devastated, really, after last night.
You got to be, mate.
Tudor going on saying that he's the captain of the ship going in the right direction. I mean, who is he, the captain of the Titanic? There's only one way this is going, and it's shocking. The tactics are awful. No one seems to know what they're doing, and then no one cares. The two blokes who are leaders, Romero, Van de Ven, have jacked it in. They can't even bother to play the pitch, play the games for us. So get sent off, 3 games off, and then they know that we're going in the summer.
Mike, I've got to say to you, mate, I'll be brutally honest with you. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, we're talking about Tottenham in the equation for relegation. And I'm saying to myself, yeah, they're it. But I never really believed
I think the bookmakers as well, they put them like 4-1 or something like that. So,
I never believed
I'd be interested to see what they are now.
But I'll tell you what, mate, you are banging it, mate. And I'm looking about you, mate. 100%. And I'm looking at West Ham with a bit of spirit. I'm looking at Forest picking up a point, obviously up at City. I'd be extremely worried, mate, and I can tell you that.
The saddest thing about it is it's gone from being laughable to we're getting pity now. I'm getting pity messages from people.
I know.
It's like a joke. I can hear Ray giggling and you giggling about it, and Arsenal fans are living the life of Riley at the moment. But the pity now is a sad thing. That it's just this is Spurs. We are in a shocking position, and they'll all turn up on Wednesday against Atletico Madrid because. They're in the shop window.
Whose fault is it, Mike? Whose fault is it? Because you've got the stadium, you've got great support. What is it? The board? Is it the recruitment? What is it? The players they're bringing in not good enough? I don't know what it is. Managers,
arrogance across the board, like everywhere, from all the way from the club. The board from the outlet have mismanaged us. Going back to Poch. That Champions League final, we never built on that.
Yeah,
we never invested in the team, and slowly from there it's just dwindled. And we've managed to rely on having Kane and Son, and then you buy these young players that are quality players for the future, but we're not going to see that because they're going to bugger off and be good for other teams, and they've just not invested in the right areas. And you look at what we got in January. The Sousa may well be a good left back in a few years' time, but we need someone now. Gallagher, is he the man for the fight?
Oh, I know, mate. It's not looking good. Mate, listen, appreciate the call, mate. I've got to move on. You got a lot of injuries, mate. But listen,
I'm not sticking up for
No, I know, but you've got massive problems. Appreciate the call, mate. You get yourself squared up, get yourself a cup of coffee, get yourself going today, pal. Shaban's in the studio.
Why do you keep laughing, Shaban?
Back page review on talkSPORT.
Listen, I'm only going to ask you a question. You're winning at Aberdeen. Was it half a yard off or just a yard off? What was it? Which was it? Was it? What? By the way, see the line. See the boy who drew the lines at VAR. But see the lines going up with the zebra crossing. They were going like that.
VAR, by the way, up the road.
What about VAR up the road?
Up the road. Do you think you've got your problems here, Ray? Jeez Louise. By the way, is there anything worse than being giggled at? Your man said there, you're giggling.
He's digging us up for giggling.
Because to be fair, last night, Jason pushed Jamie.
I saw a bit of it.
I've never seen anything like it. I mean, he proper lost
Chase loves it, didn't he?
He lost
How are you listening to that, when you're up that early in the morning?
talkSPORT app. Listen back on the talkSPORT
well
app.
done, you two. That's good, you two.
Straight, you know.
Good link there. That's a good link.
Unbelievable.
Tactically spot on.
There you go. Yes, Spurs dominating the back pages.
I'll bet they are.
We know the story. It's taken the Mickey's back page of the Sun with Mickey Van de Ven saying red. A kick in the teeth is back page of the Daily Mail. Ray, if Arsenal win the league and Spurs get relegated, is that like the dream?
Do you know what? I like the Arsenal Tottenham games, if I'm being honest. So
I know, mate.
But you know, it is what it is. If West Ham, I like West Ham Arsenal as well. It's a great game. So you don't want anybody to go down. But Spurs are really. I thought about 4 weeks ago. No, they'll have enough to get out of it. But now I looked at last night and I thought Palace and Forest were the big games at home. Now they've just played Palace and lost 3-1. And Forest, what they showed the other night against Man City. You've got to fancy Forest to beat them.
Listen, let's give Spurs just a moment's break. Back page of the Times. Brook, I made a big mistake. Ali, we're keen to get your thoughts on this. Simon Wilde saying captain admits catches win matches after dropping India's top scorer in 7-run semi-final loss. Is this considered a massive failure for England this year? And what kind of look is that for the captain to make that mistake?
Oh, it's a blunder, and it's effectively cost him, no doubt about it. And it couldn't have happened to a kind of worse player. He's a absolutely torrid 3 or 4 months. But you know something? Nobody, I don't think, really expected them. They certainly weren't favourites to beat India in Mumbai, right? And actually, after they lost Brook, Salt went early, watched it, Butler went. What an innings for Jacob Bethel, by the way.
Oh,
what
45 balls, wasn't it?
I got to the airport, Shaban, and I put it on my phone. I was going to watch it on the phone, and I half expected it to be done and dusted. And it's getting into the final 5 or 6 overs. I went, oh yeah, well, you never know. They never really got us going where you actually believed. So it's a really disappointing result, getting knocked down to semi by the hosts, and the team that everybody fancies to win it.
Yeah.
But it was an opportunity. It definitely was an opportunity. And I was talking to Ollie before it. They didn't bowl well enough either. I know we could drop with a drop catch, but the bowling figures were unbelievable. I mean, Archer got hit for 60, was saying that, which is for him is absolutely remarkable. Remarkable.
Yeah. And for all that to happen at the Wankhead Stadium,
it was ridiculous.
Let's go back to Tottenham, Siobhan.
Stop giggling.
I'm not giggling.
You're clearly giggling.
I'm not giggling.
Tottenham's well moving there.
I had Tottenham down as a draw last night. I had it down as a draw. So I had a little bit of spirit. Tottenham might win or get a draw last night. That's why I had it down.
Kids.
Oh, man, it's unbelievable, though, isn't it? Eh?
Never seen anything like it.
It's terrible.
He's given Wilfred Nancy. That's the vibes I'm getting from Tudor. You know when like it's all wrong on the pitch and you expect to hear something inspirational off the pitch, and then he's talking about ship sinking. And
will they get rid of him?
Now I've seen better. He's got
that was a line. But I tell you what, I mean, I said yesterday, fair play to him. He's just come in and went, right, you're getting it, you're getting it, you're getting it. Because he knows he's not going to be there. So he's well telling them the truth. And
some people don't like the truth.
As Jack used to say, they can't handle the truth.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Some people don't
Coming up, we do have some good news for you sports fans. The champion. Oh, this is diabolical. I'm going to have to read these before I read them out now, right? The championship has increased the playoffs to 6 teams. We'll bring you more on that next.
Every game, every week, where
yes.
the goalkeepers go over, they do that one where they go up for the ball, they jump, and then they fall forward. and they waste 4 or 5 seconds on the floor. Every single goalkeeper does.
I liked what you said before that, though, Gary. We're closing ranks and we're just getting on with it. Daniel's a big Arsenal fan. Do you agree with Gary there, Daniel? You're closing ranks and you're just getting on with it.
I fully agree with Daniel. I fully agree with Gary.
Yeah.
Reason being is, do you remember before Arteta joined Arsenal, how Arsenal was before? We were walk the ball into the net, weak old Arsenal. You can't win games like that. Now we're strong Arsenal, we're boisterous Arsenal, and I love the fact that we're playing housery. Love it. Finally, Arsenal are doing a bit of housery. What every other team has been doing for the last 40 years that I've been alive. Why is it that Arsenal seems to be the problem?
Right, okay. Why do you think that this is the top topic of conversation this morning? Because everybody else outside Arsenal, it seems, isn't having it.
Well, it could be down to jealousy. It could be down to Gabby and Ballard spatting out rubbish, or Jamie O'Hara, jealous O'Hara, spatting his rubbish.
Okay.
It could be down to that.
You're not bothered, Daniel. As long as you drive towards winning this title, that's all that counts.
No way. Arsenal! Arsenal! Arsenal!
Okay, Daniel, thank you for that.
Sport is often filled with people trying to make a quick buck, often at fans' expenses. But sometimes someone on the fringes comes up with an exhibition idea that goes down a storm. Let me tell you about a couple of them. Mallorca, 2007. Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer compete in what was dubbed the Battle of the Surfaces, a unique idea that reportedly almost got cancelled at the last minute when worms got into the grass. An 11th hour turf delivery got the match on, and despite some dodgy bounces on the new green stuff, Rafa and Roger slugged out a 3-set epic. Tennis has a history of exhibitions too, with the Battle of the Sexes in 1973 captivating audiences worldwide as Billie Jean King took on the former world #1 men's player Bobby Riggs, who talked down the women's game. Billie Jean King won. In motorsport, there was Monzanapolis in the 50s when American Indy cars went up against European F1 cars. But perhaps the best exhibitions have been the charity ones. In 1998, legends like Mike Atherton, Sachin Tendulkar and Glenn McGrath turned out at Lord's for a one-dayer in memory of Princess Diana. And since 2006, we've had Soccer Aid, which has raised an incredible amount of money. And if you get to see the likes of Jose Mourinho taking out Ollie Mers, then what's not to like?
Okay, 6:34 Friday, the 6th of March. I'm not normally in a Friday. I quite like it me Friday.
No, you
don't mind a Friday, eh?
Fridays are great.
Great Friday, eh?
Well, everyone's looking forward to the weekend, Ali. You've got loads of football usually at the weekend.
Brilliant, eh?
Yes, it's a good show.
You see the big fella was in on Wednesday, was he?
Alan was in Wednesday. I think he's doing a preview in Cheltenham. I think he's going up there on Sunday. I'll be driving up there Sunday myself. I'll meet him in the Ligon Arms.
Broadway.
Yeah, Broadway. And then we do the show Monday from John Joe Neal's yard, which is fantastic. All the owners come in.
Andy T's Andy.
I love Andy. I love Andy. He'll be there as well. And then we go down the 8 Bells.
Magic.
The pub in I think it's Chipping Camden, somewhere around there, and we have a great afternoon. And by Tuesday, I've had enough already. I've never seen an horse yet. Run. I'm worse for Tuesday morning now, usually. And then we go to that. I'll be at the track. I can't wait for the first race. The first race is the best one because the noise
and the magic,
when the old tape goes up, bang, and all the old explosion of noise.
Going to be brilliant.
It's going to be a great. And I think the weather's not looking too bad for next week.
Is it good?
A little bit of rain, but not too much.
Good
so
stuff, mate.
The ground should be perfect for the horses.
Absolutely magic. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ali and Ray with you this morning. And of course, our friends at Arnold Clark with over 20,000 used cars online to choose from. They will have the car for you, right? Excuse me. The clock is ticking. You've got until 4 p.m. today for your chance to win the ultimate summer day out for you and 11 of your mates. How does a VIP private suite at the cricket ground sound, Ray?
Very good.
Doesn't sound too shabby, that, my old son. Well, thanks to Pitch Experiences, we can be sending you to the luxury super box at the Oval for the England versus Sri Lanka ODI. Sounds pretty good. Well, listen up. Here's how to enter for your chance to win. Text WIN to 83338. Text cost £2.50 plus your standard network rate. Or call. Other option is to call 0343 418 7260. Lines close today at 4 p.m. That is, of course, when you'll need to pick up your phone. If it rings 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a talkSPORT promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. So for your chance to win, once again, just text WIN to 83338 now. It's time now to take a look at the latest EFL action in partnership with McDonald's.
EFLers on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? Order delivery on the McDonald's app today. From 11 a.m, 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Price may vary.
I am not reading that Spurs link because it's too raw. At this moment in time, I'm showing some great camaraderie and sympathy for my Spurs brothers and sisters out there. In the Championship, clubs have voted in favour of expanding the playoffs over 4 to 6 teams from next season. The new system is similar to that used in the National League, whereby teams finishing from 3rd to 8th, right, will compete for promotion. This isn't getting to do with money by any chance, has it? Clubs finishing 3rd and 4th will progress directly to the semi-final, while a one-legged quarter-final will be played with the 5th at home to the 8th and the 6th hosting the 7th. No plans as yet to extend this to Leagues 1 and 2. Right, well, let's just get straight right into it, will we? We're going to join us now as football writer and EFL expert, Richard Foster. Richard, a very, very good morning. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
Morning, Richard.
Good morning. Good morning, Ali. Good morning, Ray. I'm very well, very well.
Great. Thanks for taking the time to join us. I can't lie to you, Richard. I love the Championship. I love the playoffs. But the old cynic in me says it's another money-making experience, if you like, from the Championship. I mean, I'm not knocking it, but
I think it gives people more hope, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I get that. Is there more to it than that, Richard?
Well, I mean, it's no great surprise that the Championship clubs voted for it, because if you consider, a lot of them will think, oh, well, now we've got a better chance of getting in because we could get to 7th or 8th and still get in the playoffs. It's a little bit like when they used to vote on re-election, which is many, many years ago, but you'll both remember that. So clubs used to have to vote on whether they were going to be re-elected to the league. And amongst them, they used to say, oh, well, we could be going down next year, so you're going to stay in. That system ended in 1986, the year before the playoffs started in 1987. You know, they've been with us for 40 years now, and they've worked incredibly well. And the 4-team system, I think, is great because you go straight to the semi-finals, home and away, then to a final.
Yeah.
We're now adding this layer of complication. As you said, you have to read exactly what's going to happen as 5th plays 8th and 6th plays. So why are we changing a system that nearly everyone loves?
Correct.
Just because we want to add an extra 2 clubs? And I get what Ray says. It does give people hope. But that hope is extending all the way pretty much down the league. I mean, if you looked at the Championship now, in 6th position, you've got Wrexham, who are on 57, Derby on 51. You could go all the way down to 17th. There are just about 11 games to go. Norwich are on 45. So they might think, oh, well, we could get 6 points on Derby. We could get into the playoffs. Whereas up to now, Norwich fans have been concerned about relegation.
That's why it's going to be. That's why it's going to be right to the end of the season, though, isn't it? The Championship would be looking at it and going, well, we can still nick 8th. If we can get 3 games in a row we win, we can get 8th and we're in the playoffs. And that's why I think people are looking at it and saying, well, yeah, why not? Because it still gives us an opportunity. If we're going in with a bit of form as well, coming 8th, then you've got a chance, haven't you, still?
There's a couple of things, though, Richard, that probably, well, it's all about personal opinions, isn't it? A couple of things that probably don't sit well with somebody like myself in terms of, you know, you could finish. First thing is you could finish, you know, you could, and realistically you could finish 25, 26, 27 points off a promotion and automatic promotion and still get promoted. And the one thing that probably doesn't sit with as well as anything, why would you have it in that division something different in that division than the division below it or the division below that, or even, you know, the non-leagues coming up? Surely you should have the one system, no?
Yeah, I that's what concerned me slightly. Why is it just for the Championship? I mean, they have this system in the National League, which they have had for the last 8 seasons.
Have they not only got automatically one get up? Have I got that wrong?
Yeah, they got an automatic one, but they have this system where you then get 6 teams going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
6 clubs. And when I looked at it, only one club, Grimsby Town, in 2022 has gone up that haven't been in the top 4.
Yeah.
So you're widening the net. You know, I've written a book about the playoffs called The Agony and the Ecstasy, and I think you are providing another couple of teams who are going to go through ecstasy, because the problem is, I agree with Ray, there is hope then, but the hope that kills you, because there will be 5 clubs who think, oh, we've got a chance of going up, that won't go up. And, you know, it's rather tempting, you know, it's that apple you want to eat, but that apple might be poisoned. So I am not a fan of adding it just for the sake of adding it. I mean, you can go to the original playoffs, and actually you had a relegation spot. So the first 2 years you had 2 teams, a team from the upper division who were involved in 3 from the lower. And some people have suggested that would be a good idea.
Well,
so,
that's drama.
I mean, you can keep tinkering with stuff, but for me, the playoffs have been an absolutely brilliant feature of certainly the Championship and also League One, League Two. You know, that final has an incredible atmosphere. It's a brilliant, brilliant end to the season. I'm just not sure you're going to improve it by adding another couple of teams into this sort of quarter-final stage.
Got you, Richard. Thanks very much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Been a pleasure. Thanks, guys. And the good news for Tottenham fans is if they do go down, you know, the net's going to be a little bit bigger.
I think they come out next year.
Yes. Richard, you're safe where you are. We've got to take these phone calls this morning. Thanks very much.
I know. Well, I'm a Palace fan, so sorry.
That's the reason the knife went in, Richard.
Sorry, low blow.
It's all coming out in the wash now, isn't it? Thanks, mate. Have a good weekend.
Cheers, Richard.
Now remember, talkSPORT is your home of the playoffs, and as always, we'll bring you radio commentary of all 15 matches when we reach the business end of the season. I must admit, I don't mind the playoffs like that, particularly when you get to Wembley. That was a thanks to McDonald's. Coming up, we turn our attention to Arsenal, as they have been branded in the Sun as potentially the most unpopular champions in the Premier League history. Ray's reaction, unfair. Ray's reaction to that next.
Yeah, fellas, on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? Order delivery on the McDonald's app today. From 11 a.m, 18 plus, fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability, price may vary.
Has anyone seen Manchester United? Has anyone seen Michael Carrick's new contract? New job offer, contract, job offer. Can you hear me contract? You almost went hell of a beating Fergie, blessing Ruben Amorim. Where have you been, Ruben Amorim? Eric Ten Hag. Wreck-It Ralph! Can you hear me, Wreck-It Ralph? You're Mr. One hell of a beating Ollie at the wheel. Is that my mate? What's happening? It's all gone wrong. Help me out, quick. Help me out. Help me out. Has anyone seen Darren Fletcher? Has anyone seen Fred the Red? Fred the Red, your boy took one hell of a beating Mick Hucknall. The Big Rat Barbecue. The Big Rat Barbecue. Can you hear me, Big Rat? You're Mr. One hell of a beating Alex Crook. Frank Island. Can you hear me, Crookie? Andy Goldstein, Andy Goldstein. You always one hell of it. Has anyone seen Aston Villa? Has anyone seen Gabby Agbonlor? Your boys took one hell of a beating up the shells.
Terrible night for Spurs. We ain't even kicked a ball. Arsenal put themselves 7 points clear at the top of the table. They were shocking though, but they managed to win. Man City threw it away. West Ham won. They're starting to look decent. Nottingham Forest get a point. Spurs, oh wow, we're 1 point above the drop zone. What is going on? Chelsea, they made a statement. 4-1 win. What on earth has happened to Aston Villa? They fell off
a cliff.
They have gone. And Manchester United, woo! What's happened there? They've thrown that away as well.
Right, here we go. 6:48, Friday, 6th of March. Ali and Ray with you this morning. It's now time for a bit of this. What is that?
That's your man,
Louis Tomlinson.
No, that was Blom.
Doncaster fan, isn't he?
Dunford.
Louis, what, the 14th?
Linda Robson's son. No, Linda.
Yeah.
Robson, that's her son.
I didn't know it was her son. He told me this the other day.
Yeah. I can't believe that. Louis Robson, then?
Louis Tomlinson. At the Emirates.
Oh, wait, what an actor he is, by the way.
I'm serious.
His name's Louis Dunford. And this is North London Forever. It's now like the stadium song, isn't it, Ray?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of Ricky Tomlinson. Not Louis Tomlinson.
His name is...
Who's he out of? Who's he out of? What band's he out of, Louis? Louis Tomlinson. He's out of...
He's out One Direction.
One Direction, that's it, sorry. I'm thinking of Ricky Tomlinson. I just said, what an actor.
By the way,
right.
I would love Ricky
Ricky
Tomlinson to be in One Direction. That's where we're going. Imagine him, Ricky.
He'd be the main man.
Imagine Ricky and Niall. That would be different class. I'd be all over that. I'd go to that gig. I'll tell you that.
Definitely.
Yeah, be good crack.
Shaban, what's happening?
Right, a wee bit of an Arsenal inquest for our Ray. Hands up if you're time wasters. Simon Collins saying in The Sun today that Arsenal are on course to become the most unpopular champions in Premier League history.
Who's bothered? No, I don't think most Arsenal fans will be bothered about that, will they?
But I tell you what I said today, Shaban. I mean, we come down here, I can sense an anti-Arsenal feeling, man. It's unbelievable. Can you feel it?
Yeah. But this is what's funny is that now the Arsenal fans are embracing who cares if we win Bowden. We're still
Quite
winning.
right.
Well, we got the old nickname back in the day, 1-0 to the Arsenal.
1-0 to the Arsenal.
Back in George Graham. And we talk about set plays. They said, oh, well, they score too many set plays and this, whatever. George Graham, we used to practice non-stop set plays.
I know.
You know, defending them as well. Defending and taking set plays. And that won in probably league 1 year. I mean, Steve Bold, front post, little flick on. Tony Adams round the back post. Bang, 1-0. Shut up shop, win the game. Simple as that.
Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent had it out yesterday on Drive regarding entertaining football. Are you just entertained if you win? Is it simple as that?
Ideally, you want to see entertaining football and winning football matches, but it doesn't work like that, football. Sometimes it's just playing. You can't play well every week. You can't play brilliant football every week. Sometimes you've got to grind out results, and that's what wins your games and wins your titles and wins your cups and that sort of stuff. It's when you look. I played in really good teams, but sometimes we was terrible. But we still managed to get a draw or win the game.
You think about City in that dominant time winning the treble. They played brilliant football.
Brilliant football.
But do you watch, I mean, Ali, you watch more football than most. Have you ever been entertained by Arsenal this season?
Oh, aye. Oh, definitely. See, I understand, we all understand, there's many ways to skin a cat, right? So, not everybody can play like that great City team. Not everybody can play like that Barcelona team that used to knock the ball about, right? So, if you can do that and you can win, brilliant, everybody's happy. But you're spawning in your question, Shaban. The most important thing is picking up the 3 points. Now, they are... See, I can admire the strength and organisation in Arsenal's team and particularly the back four. Whether it's Gabriel and Mascara come in at the weekend. I mean, I think Timber's been unbelievable. I admire and I enjoy watching that.
And Capier's been good as well.
Yeah, different class.
But what I say, defences will win you more titles and cups than when they're strike force. You can go out and we can win 4-3, no, and it's a great game to watch and fantastic. But that won't win you trophies. But sooner or later, you won't score 4, and you end up.
I do take the point. Well, that's horrible. I mean, but that's not just Arsenal. That comes into the game. That's every team on the planet would do that. If I won nothing up with 5 minutes to go, you're doing it. They all do that. So it's wrong to specifically pick out Arsenal.
Because they are top of the table for when it comes to corners.
Slow it down a bit.
Throw-ins, you're 5th in the league for how long it takes you to get the ball.
I don't think there's any doubt, right, when a couple of years ago with those great title chases with Manchester City and Liverpool, and they were different teams as well. I actually probably enjoyed watching Liverpool as much as I did Manchester City, and Liverpool used to go long. Yeah. They would knock it about, and then they got a full back, and maybe Robertson would switch it to Salah or Trent to Mane and the other side, and they would go long. So they were different to watch. But those two teams, yes, were certainly easier in the eye. I get that. But the Arsenal fans won't be bothered. They're not interested.
Well, they've already experienced a couple of seasons ago when they lost out was gung-ho football. They were smashing in goals then. So now you're doing it a pragmatic way. Alan Pardew, God bless him. Did you hear him talk about this asterisk?
That's a classic.
Right, so Pardew said, at the moment it looks like Arsenal are going to go and see it through, but there'll be an asterisk next to their name because you've only got to look at them in these types of performances and say it's just a functional display.
Right. I'm not too sure where that.
I mean, come on, right? So what we're saying? You get an asterisk on it if you don't play the way that people want you to play.
But you still win.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
That was the words of Alan Pardew, not mine. Inside the Telegraph today, Ray, there's an article about Arsenal needing to sell one player. It implies it could be Odegaard. Is he kind of is he the guy at the moment that maybe you would?
He's had a few injuries, isn't he, this season? But I really like Odegaard. When he's on his game, he's one of the best midfielders. He's always, he takes the ball in tight areas. He always seems to get himself out of trouble. He sees a pass. Him and Saka play well together. They seem to have that little triangles. They seem to work well together. But I think his injuries have been really let him down this year.
Is there something else happened there, do you think, between him and Arteta?
Look, I don't know behind the scenes. I don't know training methods and whatever. He's been left out a few times, and Eze's got his opportunity.
And he's taken it.
Yeah, which you've got to do. As a player, you know, they've got such a big squad of players now. Not everybody can play every week. So I like to see when you do get your opportunity, you take it. Because then it's hard for the manager to leave you out. And that's what football's all about, to get your opportunity. Same as when we probably made our debuts, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you're waiting for someone to muck up in your position, and then you're pushed in. And then you've got a chance to prove that you're good enough to play in that team as well. So I've got no problem with that. But whether they sell Odegaard, I'm not too sure if they will. I think he signed a new contract, so they'll probably get very good money for him if they did. But they will sell certain players because you always got to keep trying to strengthen your squad, haven't you? You always got to. I'm sure they'll be looking at a striker next year again.
Yeah,
they've got to.
See, the interesting one, Ray. Look, Odegaard. I think he's terrific footballer. Realise very, very good footballer. But I think he's now got serious competition. Whether it's Eze playing in there, Havertz can play in there. You know, they can both play in a 10. I liked Odegaard a little bit deeper where he could take it and link up with Saka. But it's just the option.
So Zubamendi's been.
He's
been brilliant this year. He's played every single game more or less. He's played every minute as well. He's one of them sort of guys who can. He's just a very efficient player. You know what you're going to get out of him. You're going to get 7 out of 10 every week. 7.5 out of 10.
Ray.
I'd rather have a player like that who's 7.5 out of 10 every week than you get one. Oh, you get a 9 this week, and then you get 4 next week, and then because you don't know what you're going to get out of a player.
Because coaches they love players they can rely on.
Consistent.
Well, look at it. I'm just going to mention it again. It's not for the first time. Come off the bench. Havertz come off the bench. Trossard, Calafiore, Norgard. You've still got in the bench Jesus, Madueke, Dowman, Lewis Skelly.
You got a squad of players.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. When he's gone on loan, so you have him next season as well. So you've got lots. The squad itself is amazing. I mean, it's the best they've ever had. It's a lot better than our squads we had. Yeah. And we won trophies, but we didn't have the depth they have now.
That's what I said, mate.
Yeah.
I reckon it might be the best. I said it before. Might be the best squad I've ever seen.
Well, they've got two players in every position.
Easy.
Marino's out at the moment. He can play centre forward. He can.
I like him, by the way. I don't mind him. And he'll get you a goal.
He nicks you a goal.
He'll get you a goal.
Definitely. So Martinelli, Trossard on the left. You've got Madueke on the right with Saka. Exactly. I thought these players we're talking about will get in most teams.
Yeah.
But that's a squad of the depth they've got in the squad. So there'll be a lot of changes, obviously, tomorrow for the FA Cup, Mansfield. But they've had a little bit of luck in the draw. Suddenly you're in a sick for it. You know, you've got half a chance now to get to Wembley again. So it could be a massive. It could be a massive. We've got Newcastle, Man City. Should be a cracking game this weekend. Ali's going to Wolves, Liverpool tonight. Can Wolves get a result again?
Oh, by the way. They got it on Tuesday, didn't they?
I tell you what, they're flying at the moment, Wolves. I think the fans are really in a feel-good
factor.
Fans
are loving it.
I saw them at the end of that Liverpool game.
Celtic Rangers, though, this weekend, Ali. Who's winning that?
I'd probably just lean towards Rangers.
Interesting.
Okay, still to come in breakfast this morning.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
Maybe they will next year.
I need the listeners
when they're in the
know.
playoffs.
Exactly. Ray and I had absolutely nothing to do with that link whatsoever. Spurs fans, get your calls in this morning. 03717 223344. Still no League One in 2026. It's remarkable. Another key player suspended. Anfield next to League, only a point separate from West Ham in 18th. Dear me. Like I mentioned, 03717 223344. Spurs fans, that is the number to call. That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins.
Come on, you Spurs are on their way to Wembley.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
the fact that Arsenal, yet again, seem to have grinded out a result, this time at Brighton last night. But Simon, did you say in the passing there seems to be some kind of bias towards Arsenal or against Arsenal? As we went into that break, you were saying to me, there is undoubtedly a bias. Is there a bias?
Well, it feels like there's a narrative being created which then creates its own version of bias. Because all of a sudden we're hearing punditry and commentary which is taking a side and it's not saying to win a Premier League for your first time in 22 years where you don't have the knowledge, you're going to have some guile. Then you're going to have some gumption and you're going to have to be strong and overcome adversity in difficult games. Can you go to Stoke on a wet Tuesday night and win the Premier League when it's ugly? So Arsenal are saying, yes, we can.
Yeah.
We can also top the Champions League.
Yeah.
We can also be in the in finals of the League Cup, and we can also be in the FA Cup. But subsequently, now what's happening is people are going, let's really unpick this and really unwind it and say what we think it should be and judge it by a different set of standards that we've judged other people by.
Right.
Now, I don't like to find myself in the camp where I'm veering towards Keown cul-de-sac.
I was going to say, you've crossed the divide.
But I'm not crossing the divide in the way that they are, because I think their observations about punditry is silly, because I think the pundits like Neville and other people go after Man United as much as they go after Arsenal. So they're either good pundits or bad, you like the pundits or you don't. But I feel that when you start hearing the kind of comments that we're hearing, and now the managers are doing it, I don't think I've heard a manager talk about another manager's choice of play. Yes, when they're one of the lesser sides, when it's like Arsenal were doing it to Bolton because you saw Arsene Wenger bristling, and we all used to laugh going, you can't take it up yet.
But you quite liked what Ursula said at the end of that game last night, didn't you?
Not really. I have a bias because he's a Brighton manager.
Thomas Tuchel's busy trying to bring glory back to England for the first time since '66. But how did he get here? Well, from the sleepy town of Krumbach via some giants of European football, here's his journey to Wembley. Sitting around 60 miles west of Munich, Krumbach's population is less than 14,000 people. But Tuchel's friends there remember a boy whose ambitions lay far beyond the Bavarian community. His will to win was evident early. Tuchel often captained his youth football teams, and his school side lifted the national German football trophy in 1987. The sport took the young defender on a whistle-stop tour of South Germany, from Augsburg to Stuttgart and then Ulm. A knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25, though. Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart youth setup in 2000, hired by none other than Ralf Rangnick. Under Tuchel's stewardship, the club's under-19s won their league title in 2005. But Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract, feeling Tuchel had an abrasive personality. He went on to manage Augsburg's second team before spending 5 years at the helm at Mainz. He then followed in Jurgen Klopp's footsteps and moved from Mainz to Dortmund. Here, Tuchel secured his first major silverware, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more major trophies came next for Tuchel in just 5 glorious seasons. He won 2 League 1 titles and a pair of domestic cups as PSG boss. At Chelsea, he famously lifted the Champions League as well as a Super Cup and a Club World Cup, and he also bagged a Bundesliga at Bayern Munich. And then, 4 months after leaving Bayern, Tuchel was unveiled as England's new manager.
I always wanted to come back to England. That was my big goal. I have the best memories of the country, of the league and of the players, the attitude towards the game, the attitudes from the supporters.
Well, here's hoping Tuchel can finally drag England over the line at a major tournament.
Okay, 6 minutes past 7. It's Friday the 6th of March. talkSPORT Breakfast, Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Ali and Ray with you this morning. Of course, the phone lines are open to Tottenham fans this morning. 03717 22 3344. People once said that the Titanic was unsinkable. Well, are Spurs heading for the same fate? It's all hands on deck for Captain Igor.
The boat is going in the direction that I want to go, and who is in the boat can stay. Otherwise, can leave the boat.
We're going down.
That's not positive. What are you talking about?
It's rotten to the core.
Would it be funny if Spurs go down?
Yeah, for the neutral, it'd be funny.
We've got a penalty here and a red card. Wow!
The boat is going in the direction that I want to go.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
And Spurs' lead lasted 5 minutes. They've lost their captain and their best defender. It's a simple question. Are you going down?
Yes.
Who is in the boat can stay. Otherwise, can leave the boat.
Without wanting to be too much of a doomsday merchant, they've got existential mortal jeopardy now.
Iceberg, right ahead! Spurs 1, Crystal Palace 3. Ismail Assar has his second. Rugby faces amongst the Spurs fans behind me. You're going down. No, seriously, last time. You're going down.
Shut up! Don't ask me again.
To dare is to poo.
Yeah, we're on Cheltenham, we are the Super Spurs. Everybody knows we're the football.
It's unbelievable this morning, isn't it?
This is scandalous. I need the nation to know that you and I have got nothing to do with these links.
Is there a slide on that boat?
That's
the old peddler.
Nothing to do. It's unbelievable. It's incredible. After only 3 defeats, all of which an end of defeat. That's Igor Tudor, obviously.
That's the problem, Ali, when you're playing on your own. Only one game, one night.
Oh, mate.
Because when there's loads of different games going on, you've got other things. Yes, the focus is on you. Everybody was watching that game last night.
Oh, mate. Well, there's nobody better to talk to about the situation right now. And I know he'll be hurting as well. It's a legendary sports striker and great friend of the show, Clive Allen. Clive, very good morning, mate.
Morning, Clive.
Is it a good morning, gents?
Oh, man, Clive, I've got to say, mate, I come down, I deliberately get the early flight down, and up to a wee couple of pints of Guinness, and I watched that game, mate. And I don't know, Clive, honestly, for about 3 weeks, I was just saying to Ray, the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been saying, Tottenham could be in trouble, but I've never really, I don't know if I've ever really believed it while I've been saying it, but the last couple of weeks, Clive, and particularly last night, dear me.
Ali, you're absolutely right. Obviously, the reality is we haven't won a game this season, this year, I should say. And the alarming fact is we need to find a result from somewhere. It's not necessarily a performance. There's there's jeopardy now in the position we find ourselves in. You look at how it can change. At this moment in time, it's for the players to step up. It's not for lack of trying. I think for 30 minutes last night, the crowd were fantastic. The opening half an hour, the crowd were totally behind the team, obviously went in front. And then, as we've seen in the Premier League, a lot of drama happened. And again, it obviously went against the team, went against the club. And the alarm bells are ringing.
Clive, I've got to ask you, look, Jamie O'Hara last night, you'll get rid of the manager. Is it always the manager? Or the players have got to say, look, wait a minute, I've got to have a little bit of pride of my own, person. I'm going out in front of all these Tottenham fans who pay big money to go and watch me play. I'm going to show that little bit more effort. I'm going to show a bit. And to be fair to Tudor, he came out and said they've got to run a bit more. They've got to do this a bit more. They've got to do that a bit more. They're not doing enough to get a result. So, look, they've had so many managers over the years now, haven't they? If you look back, it can't be always the manager's fault. The players have got to look at themselves as well, Clive.
Absolutely, Ray. I think you know that. You know that when things are going well, it's almost like you're not thinking about it. Things are happening. You're confident, but all of a sudden, when things are going wrong, you're not trying. You're not trying to lose games. You're not trying to put in poor performances. But it is for the players now. Collectively, they've got to come together. Individually, they've got to start to show. There's undoubted ability within the squad. The whole club needs to stick together. You guys are chuckling. I think the whole of football, apart from Spurs supporters and those within the club, are desperate to get some results, to give us some. The situation is we're 1 point above the relegation 3. Listen, a couple of results, and that's what we've got to strive for. First, let's get one result, wherever it might be. A point at Liverpool. You have to have that belief, determination, and desire to try to achieve that, and then move on from there. We have a Champions League game, a Champions League campaign that so far has been fantastic. Can we take something from that before we go into that Liverpool game?
So another thing, Clive, a discipline seems to be, a problem as well. You're looking at Romero, you've lost Van de Ven last night. The one thing that would concern me, Clive, as well, I look at Tottenham and I look at the other teams down there, and I said yesterday when I was talking to Gabby, Clive, that the one thing the Tottenham fans deserved and was required was the same level of commitment that the teams around them are showing. And by that I mean we saw West Ham at Fulham, we saw Forest pick up a terrific point at City, because the one thing that they are doing, they are showing a level to of commitment in terms of rolling their sleeves up and getting on with the fight. Are Spurs doing that? I know they're going to have to do it, Clive. Are they doing it?
They're trying, Ali. There's no doubt about that. There's obviously a distinct lack of confidence in the way that games are unfolding. I was actually at City the other night, and when Forest scored that equaliser, I looked at my iPad, and all of a sudden West Ham had scored. Forest had drawn level, and you look at the league table, and there's 1 point. There's 1 point to the drop zone. So all of a sudden, alarm bells are ringing. As Ray said, it was the one game last night that the whole attention of football was focused on the game. And again, yes, I mean discipline, things that things you have to eradicate if you're gonna start to get some sort of performance and end results.
Clive, just a quick one. Did the appointment of Igor Tudor surprise you a little bit?
Yes, it did. It did. And obviously, you look at the different reasons. Yes, he's had experience in Serie A with big clubs. Obviously, Juventus was successful in what he did with them. But no disrespect to Serie A, a fantastic league, but it's not the Premier League. There's no league like the Premier League. And I was just a little bit surprised, because obviously he comes with the right intention. I think he's saying the right things. He's not saying anything that isn't true right now, but does he understand the Premier League? Does he know what's needed? Yes, we say football's a universal language, but you do need to have that understanding. And I think when you look at the players as well, the players have to understand what they're coming into. Foreign players, whoever they might be, coming into the Premier League, take time to adapt, to understand, to realise what they need to do physically, mentally, tactically, to achieve results. Arsenal are at the top of the Premier League because they deserve to be so. The way they've gone about it, the way they win games. Mikel's been there a long time. At the other end of the scale at the moment, at Tottenham Hotspur.
Good stuff, Clive. Family good, everything good, mate?
They're all good, thank you, Ali. Yeah.
Smashing, Paul. We'll get a wee date in the diary. We'll get that golf going again.
Absolutely, yeah. Look forward to it.
Take care, mate. Thanks for joining us this morning.
All the best, guys.
Thanks, Paul. Now, as Clive correctly says, Spurs on the Champions League and face Atletico Madrid this coming Tuesday in the last 16 first leg. And it's live on talkSPORT with an 8 p.m. kickoff. Coming up, isn't it interesting? We're looking forward to this. Harry Brook is blaming himself for England's loss in the World Cup to India yesterday. It was some game. Honestly, Ray, what a game it was. But should he be? We're going to ask 2 times Ashes winner Steve Hammerson that next.
So it makes it more interesting, I think, Simon, for fans of other clubs. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
If it was all to finish today and this was in operation now,
you'd go all the way down to 17th of Norwich in the league with a chance to get into the 8th spot. That's what you do.
Right.
You take 60. You take
it opens up. Yeah.
You take 66% of the league as it sits now. 18 clubs in this league could have a reasonable shout to make a claim for getting 8th spot, because there's 11 games to go in the conventional season. There's 6 points between Derby in 8th and Norwich in 17th.
Right.
And those games, and when you get running at the business end of a season, it really does change the dynamics of how people play. All of a sudden, you've got 66% of the league having something involved. Then you've got the other 25%, or 35%, sorry, sort of going to the Gabby Bongle arithmetic school, the other 34%, which would be fighting for not staying in the division. So you've got constant jeopardy in a league, which actually reminded me when I was over in America looking at the MLS and how they construct their leagues and how many teams get an opportunity to play in their playoffs and participate in outcomes for themselves. They have something like 60 or 70% of the teams in a league any given season that could feature in a playoff scenario.
Right.
So it's all
Does
about...
it affect the quality? There's a message coming through there. You're telling me that 8th could end up going to the Premier League. Surely, that
going to have to
good in terms of the quality of the club that's going to go
Well,
up.
there's nip and tuck. More often than not, when you finish 6th in the league, and we went up as a team that finished 6th, there was the points total, I think West Ham finished behind us and Wigan finished behind us in the league, and they were like a point difference. So
Shut up!
That was Ed, top class, son.
Shut up!
No, credit when it's due. Very, very good. This is talkSPORT Breakfast, 7:20. It's the 6th of March, it's Friday. Alan Ray with you this morning. Let's get the phone line. Spurs fan 03717223344. That's the number to call. Luke's a Spurs fan. Morning, Luke. Thanks for calling. How are you?
How you doing, Luke?
Oh, gents, how are you? Ali, Raymundo, thanks for taking the call.
Oh, listen, we're fine, Luke.
What?
How are you, mate?
What's going wrong? Come on, Luke.
Oh, boys, right. So I was saying to your guy on the phone, yeah? I mean, I call up quite a lot and speak to all you guys, so thanks for taking my calls. I basically used to go to Tottenham quite a lot, especially before the stadium and after. And I used to share a season ticket with a friend. I stopped going because once Pochettino didn't get backed, I just thought to myself, well, the amount of revenue this team are making now, this business, whatever you want to call it, if they're not backing Pochettino, the guy that's got you to the Champions League final, and then they didn't back Mourinho, a serial winner, that tells me everything I want to know. The business model was not working, and they're going through manager after manager after manager. And for me, mate, it is just not on, because we're spending a lot of money, and they are just they want to spend peanuts, and it's not the players' fault. It isn't. It isn't their fault that they get bought for the money they get bought for, right? But the way they're shopping is not on, and I've said it time and time and time again, and it's constantly coming to fruition. And it's not just Daniel Levy. People could say, "Oh, Daniel Levy this, Daniel Levy that." It is not. This is Ennick. Levy was just the fall guy. Now he's gone. There's going to be another fall guy there, and that's Vinay. And then they'll go through Vinay until they get someone else, and they'll keep going, mate. And last night, those fans leaving at half-time is exactly what they should have been doing for weeks on end, voting with their feet. Because we are not going to get this out of the club unless we start voting with our feet.
Look, listen, appreciate you taking the time to call us, mate. Excuse me. Very good call. Spurs fans obviously hurting this morning, of that there is no doubt. Right, we're on to the cricket now. England's dreams of lifting the T20 World Cup are over after an epic semi-final defeat against India in Mumbai. Jacob Bethel's stunning century wasn't enough as England fell to 7-run loss, but things could have been different had captain Harry Brook not dropped inexplicably from Sanju Samson. An emotional Brook fronted up and reflected on his error after the match.
Yeah, catches win matches, don't they? And unfortunately, it didn't stay in my hands. And yeah, it's just one of them things. Unfortunately, I didn't catch it, and he played a very, very good innings as well, and arguably won him the game.
Does it linger? Did you keep thinking about it, or do you just sort of park it and move on?
Yeah, obviously it's in the back of your mind. I kept on looking at the scoreboard, and he was piling the runs on. I was like, well, I'm going to have to get 89 tonight. And yeah, it's not ideal, but yeah, it's happened now.
Yeah, join us for more reaction. Two-time Ashes winner Steve Harmison. Harmy, good morning. How are you?
Morning, Harmy.
Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Ali.
Hi, mate. Harmy, I watched it. I was coming down early and I had it on my phone and I was running about and I watched it, mate. And I know the importance was unbelievable. They'd have been 24 for 2. He'd have been out for 15. All of a sudden he goes on to make 89. The one thing I would say, Harmy, I thought England actually did well to take it as long as they did after a quite unbelievable batting performance from India. But is he right to shoulder just about all the responsibility and the blame? Surely not. There's more to it than a drop catch.
Yeah, there's more to it. I mean, the old cliche that Harry just said, catches do win matches, but catches get dropped. They do get dropped. Everybody drops catches every now and again. I mean, it was just unfortunate. I think there's a lot of what if moments, but I think there for another day. I thought it was an unbelievable cricket match. Nearly 500 runs scored in just on 40 overs. Unbelievable. And I think you look at Harry's catch that he dropped, Samson's, and then when Harry come out to bat, the catch that Axar Patel took when Harry got out, over the top of his shoulder, ran. I think he ran something like 29 metres to dive full strength to catch it. So these are small margins in these types of games, which, I mean, change the course of the game. But I think if you want to look at that catch in isolation and blame Harry, I think you'd be so short-sighted. Jacob Bethel's innings was magnificent. It really was. And they lost by 7 runs, which sounds not a lot, but when you need 30 off the last over, England were beaten quite. Not quite convincingly, but it wasn't as close as it sounds as 7 runs. Bumrah's 17th, I was at 16th and 19th over.
That's what I thought, Harmy.
That was the game changer.
I thought the overs, maybe 47, 48, 49, were England really needed to get. I thought they batted the ball really well in Indians.
They did. I thought England timed it perfectly. In that situation, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. You respect the skill level of Bumrah, and you go, right, we need 13 and over. If we get 10 off each of these 2 overs, we can have that 24 off and over and take somebody downtown. And unfortunately, to be fair to him, Hardik Pandya, when you talk about pressure, I mean, these Indian guys play under a huge amount of pressure all the time. And playing in the Wankhede in front of 40-odd thousand people in the semi-final of the World Cup, that's a day in the park for some of these Indian players. And Hardik Pandya backed that Tim 2 Bumrah overs, because I think out in the middle, the likes of Bethel and Curran and Jacks, they were probably targeting, they were getting the conversation from about 12 onwards would have been, let's get them to use their 6th bowler, which they didn't want to use Axar Patel with 2 left-arm spinners bowling. So they'd have to bring Dubey on, who went for 20-odd in the last over. Yeah. And we target Hardik's 1 over. He had 1 over left. And I think that would have been the conversation in the middle. And England nearly got it spot on, but I think it wasn't a great tournament for England, but they did brilliant to get to the semi-final, and they were brilliant in the final, even though they fell just short because it was an unbelievable run chase.
Harmy, how do you sum up their winter then? I mean, the Ashes was a bit of a disaster, and obviously the T20 now. Look, they got to the semi-final, and it's against a good India side. But, how do you sum it all up? And what do you do now going forward?
I mean, it's so difficult. I've been asked this question a million times, and I've put my foot in it so many times, boys, when they asked me about McCullum. I listened to Brendan after the game, and his interview was great. I mean, Brendan McCullum's a great man. He's a great person. He's a very, very fine coach, and he's done brilliant for English cricket. And when he spoke about it after, it was like let's just take some sort of time. Let's make a calm decision in a couple of weeks when you evaluate what's happened this winter and see where we go from there and go forward. He said he wants to take the job on. He wants to put the mistakes right that they made in the Ashes. But unfortunately for me, boys, the Ashes alone, the poor preparation, the poor planning, the poor performance, I mean, on field, off field, somebody's got to be made accountable. And unfortunately for me, it would be Brendan. I really want to see the end of this film. Ali, Rhea, you see so many coaches come and go with a whimper. Brendan hasn't done that. He's changed the narrative of the way English cricket looks. He's been front foot cricket. It's been exciting. It's been enjoyable. But just for that Ashes alone, I think somebody needs to be accountable. I'd love to see the end of the film where he stays on. He gets the girl. He leaves in 2027 with the Ashes and rides off into the sunset horseback. I would love to see that, but unfortunately, if we don't make somebody accountable for what's happened this winter, then I don't think that's right. So unfortunately for me, McCullum would go from at least the Test job. Whether he keeps the white ball job, I'm not so sure. If he wants to do it, then great. But I think from the red ball game Test job, I think I would want a new coach.
Okay, Harmy, top man, appreciate that.
Cheers, Harmy.
Never got a chance.
Cheers, boys.
Never got a chance to talk to Harmy about St James's.
Oh, what a goal!
Jumping.
What a goal! What a goal to
win it, mate.
The winning goal was a
tremendous
super goal. Absolutely brilliant.
Harmy, they are 2 times Ashes winner and talkSPORT cricket expert. Now coming up, people are calling the Sports Bar one of the shows of all time. O'Hara's meltdown. O'Hara's meltdown. We're going to hear the best of that next.
Let me just attack O'Hara because...
No. Have a
Why are you attacking me, by the way? Why are you attacking me, Matt, by the way?
O'Hara alone.
I don't play for Tottenham. I'm not making decisions at Tottenham, am I? So don't attack me. What are you talking about? I'm sick of you coming on here thinking you can attack me.
Not a great evening for Villa at all. Here's one for you, Gab.
Hi, mate.
You're 17th in the form table. They've seen a 10-point gap with Chelsea chipped away to 3 points. They could be 6th after the next round of games, having fallen 16 points off leaders Arsenal. They've lost 4 home games in 2026, including the FA Cup. Now, Gab, I know,
Hi, mate.
but I'll tell you this, mate. And I said at 6 o'clock, as disappointing as it is, mate, it can't be a great shock to you because you kind of semi-predicted it to me maybe about 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
Okay, first of all, what I want to say, Ali, is that these players, manager, fan base, cannot feel sorry for themselves.
Yeah.
Aston Villa are in the top 4 as it stands. They're in a knockout stage, tie against Lille, which is next Thursday away from home. So it's not all doom and gloom. Has it been a
horrendous 2026. Of course it has. But you know what it's like in football, Ali? You can't feel sorry for yourself.
Correct, mate.
If you're the leaders at that football club, if you're the Concerts, the Mings, the Watkins, you're getting these players together and saying, come on, guys, let's not let our season fizzle out. It's not been good enough. Last night, I mean, where do I start? The first goal, Martson. He's not even looked behind his shoulder. That gusto is there. Enter Fernandez has got time on the ball.
It's worth mentioning, Gabby, you got off to a brilliant start, mate.
Yeah, fantastic goal, and that was more likely from Leon Bailey, taking his fullback on the outside and using his weaker foot to cross it. Goal. But Aston Villa's tactics were similar to when Unai Emery first come in.
Ever fancied having a beer in the stands while watching your team at the Emirates, or at Anfield, or at Stamford Bridge? Well, this season you actually can. Drinking alcohol in the stands at Premier League games may still be illegal, but the Women's Super League is doing something different. And here's how we got there. Back in the 1980s, football had a serious image problem. The sport was plagued by violence, pitch invasions and beer-fuelled chaos. Then, in 1985, Margaret Thatcher's government stepped in. They introduced the Sporting Events Control of Alcohol Act, banning alcohol in view of the pitch across England and Wales. Since then, many fans and clubs have called for the law to be relaxed. But despite attempts to change things over the years, authorities just haven't been convinced fans can be trusted. But in January 2025, something did change. The Women's Championship, now called the WSL2, launched a trial allowing fans to drink in the stands. The reasoning? Well, fans at women's matches tend to behave differently. Less aggression, more family-friendly vibes. As a result, select WSL and WSL2 stadiums are now allowing fans to drink alcohol in view of the pitch. It's been a landmark move showing growing trust in fans and recognising that women's football is building its own culture. So could the men's game be the next to leave the 1980s behind? Well, maybe, if fans can prove they can handle a pint without pitching it at someone. Yeah, don't hold your breath. Until then, it's Bovril all around. Cheers to that.
Friday the 6th of March at 7:34. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ali and Ray with you this morning with our good friends at Arnold Clark with over 20,000 used cars online to choose from. They will have the car for you. Now, the team everyone's talking about for the wrong reasons this morning. Tottenham Hotspur lost again last night, their 14th league loss of the campaign. They're still to win a Premier League game in 2026. In fact, 6th tier Macclesfield Town have beaten more top flight sides this calendar year. Last night's sports bar with former Spurs midfielder Jamie Harrett was one heck of a listen. Let's hear Jamie clashing with one caller. Here we go.
Let me just attack O'Hara because...
No, have a
Are you attacking me, by the way? Why are you attacking me, man, by the way? I don't play for Tottenham. I'm not making decisions at Tottenham, am I? So don't attack me. What are you talking about? I'm sick of you coming on here thinking you can attack me like I'm making decisions at Tottenham.
Let Matt speak.
Like I'm in charge of the recruitment. Like I'm in charge. Like I'm taking the training sessions. No, you come on here all the time and you dig me out. What are you on about?
Do you know why? Jamie, do you know why? Jamie, do you know what? Listen to me. Do you know why I dig you out? Because you know what?
Because what?
For months and a year, you've been backing them by not talking about them.
Who have I backed? Who have I backed?
Listen, you've always picked at the managers. Always picked at the managers.
What am I going to do? Dig out every manager that comes in at a football club?
Listen to me. You've got to get rid of Ange. Do you honestly think Ange is the problem?
He finished 17th.
Mate,
he finished 17th.
done all right, you know.
Jamie.
Don't keep coming on here, Matt. Don't keep coming on here and trying to dig me out like I'm in charge at Tottenham, like I'll make decisions, like I'm in the dressing room putting on training sessions. Who are you talking to?
Oh, he's just finding that little,
he's
little
gone.
digging every time, isn't he,
gone.
James?
This is going to be good. I've got to say, it wasn't just Spurs fans that O'Hara fell out with, even clashed with Cundy. Take a listen to this.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The football club. It's unbelievable. The people in charge of this football club. One of the biggest clubs in the world. And an absolute mockery. We're a mockery of a football club that we've allowed this to happen.
Are you going down?
And the fans have had to accept
You're going down.
Chase, shut up. Don't ask me again. Seriously. Like, I'm trying to do a show here. I'm trying to have a say. And you're going to sit there and just try and mug me off for 2 hours. I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it.
Oh, you asked a question. No problem, mate. It's not my fault you got beat tonight, is it?
So is someone going to check on Jamie this morning? like George? Chase is brilliant. Oh, James.
Absolutely.
You find them little bombs in every now and again.
Different level.
Little digs.
I mean,
he's good at that, James.
Oh, dear me.
He's had a meltdown now, hasn't he, Jamie?
He has.
Shut up!
Okay, Jamie.
All right, Spurs fans.
funny.
You take the hammer and go on the phone lines this morning. 03717 22344. We're going to take your call now. Mikey's a Spurs fan. Morning, Mikey. How are you this morning?
How you doing, Mikey?
Good morning, boys. You right?
We're fine, mate. Thanks for taking the time to give us a call this morning. Mikey, that's unacceptable last night, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Just disgusting. So it's the first time I've been for a while to see that rubbish, is what I'll say. And for me, within 20 minutes, I've had to go down to the concourse and get a beer. Yeah, like we were sitting back. We had a back five. We were sitting back against Crystal Palace at home. There was no football being played, and we did that for the whole game. Okay, we had the red card, but so his tactics were just to sit back the whole game.
Mikey, where does the problem stem from? I mean, you are right in it now. Don't worry about that. But where does it come from?
The problems come from everywhere. Like, so I'm going to say one thing as well. I've got to dig out the fans a little bit as well, because, and I know that sounds mad, but last night the songs, they sing 2 songs. They sing them all game. Come on, you Spurs, and oh, when the Spurs. That's all they sing. I've been going Spurs for a very long time, and it's changed. Everything's changed. Football's changed. There's no... I don't know. I don't think they want the Joneses there now. They don't want real fans there anymore. It's overpriced. I don't think they're bothered about being relegated, this club. Financially, possibly, yes, but for me, they're on the social media. They're on, we're going to training. They're putting the muscles up. We've just lost 4, 5, 6 games in a row. We've won 4 games in, is it 31 games? We've won two home league games all season. I couldn't believe it when I heard that. There's nothing. This club is just it's done. It's done.
All right, Mikey.
Well, it's a disaster.
Oh, it really is.
Disaster.
Unbelievable. Mikey, thanks for the call, pal.
You got the stadium, you know.
That's one of the best stadiums in the
It's not even worth thinking about, is it?
I mean, it's really not.
If you're a Tottenham fan, I'm sure they'd be worried if they do go down. He said they're not even worried about going down. They will be worried about going down, I promise you. Financially.
John's a Spurs fan. John, you're there. Good morning.
How you doing, John?
Good morning, Ali. Good morning, Ray. Thanks for taking my call. Yeah, I've just to give you a background. I'm 68 years old and I've been going since 1972. I just want a little bit of background to this. Tottenham Hotspur are a club that won major honours every decade from the 50s to the 2000s, okay? Only Man United can match that record. And I've said this before. I've spoken a couple of times. I got through to Jim White and Simon Jordan. And I remember the words of my late father the day that Levy sacked George Graham. Do you know that that's the first thing that Levy did when they took over 25 years ago? He sacked George Graham, the guy that won the League Cup with us the previous season, 6 days before the FA Cup semi-final against Arsenal. And I remember the words of my old man who said, "Do not trust these guys." Okay, 25 years on, we've won 2 trophies in 25 years, the worst run of success since the 1940s, and 16 managers been sacked. And I reckon, just to say, when Levy was chucked out, I was doing handstands because I always thought he was the problem. But unfortunately, these guys are just as bad. the answer is pretty straightforward. I don't know what you think. If you don't buy Premier League level players, you're going to struggle. Look at Arsenal. They're now going for a quadruple. 3 seasons ago or 2 seasons ago, they spent £100 million on Declan Rice. They've got Trossard. They've got Jesus from Man City. They've got Havertz. They've nicked Eze from under. Levy dallied and dillied, played like a clever dick second-hand car dealer, and also the one of the biggest problem, we've got the worst player salaries to turnover ratio in the entire Premier League, and we're also the only Premier League club that actually went through a transfer window without buying a single player. And the players we do buy are either going to be youngsters like the ones they bought. I forgot their names now.
Archie Gray.
Yeah. And what do you think is behind buying Archie Gray and Lucas Bergwall? They're just going to be investments to sell in the future. And also, they're not going to demand high salaries. So we've got a salary cap, which means we either buy basically trainees, youngsters, or we buy unproven players from Europe, like Tel, like this Moani. I mean, and honestly, maybe I'm being a bit naive here. Ange Postecoglou won a trophy last season, our first trophy in 17 years, which also qualified us for the Champions League. He had the entire squad behind him, looking forward to this season. I mean, I went to the recording. I went to the final. I saw it in the stadium, and I went to the parade as well. It was absolutely fantastic scenes, and the whole squad was behind him. Everyone was going crazy. And what does Levy do? Instead of giving him another season, he chucks him out and he brings in Thomas Frank, a guy who's never won anything in his entire career. And now we're looking at relegation.
Yeah. Honestly,
what your thoughts are.
John, I think you make a good point there,
does,
mate. And it's not with hindsight. Believe me, it's not with hindsight, mate. I just think Ange.
He said, I'm going to win a trophy in 2 years.
He said he won a trophy in 2 years. He clearly put his eggs in that basket of the Europa League. I'm not saying he wasn't bothered about the league. Of course he's bothered about the league, but he was wanting to win the Europa League to get him into the Champions League. I just think it's incredible, I really do. We've got another call. We've got Tony, the Arsenal fans. You want to say about Spurs potentially going down? This could be interesting. Morning, Tony. How are you?
How you doing, Tony?
Morning, Ali. Morning, Ray. Couple of legends. How we doing?
We're doing excellently well. You'll be feeling a bit sorry for Spurs this morning, Tony?
Yeah, I just want to say, as an Arsenal supporter, I genuinely don't want Spurs to get relegated. Because it's a guaranteed 6 points next season. Let it all work out.
I'm going to ask you a serious question now, Tony. Right.
Yeah, sure.
Here's my question to you. Now, I take your point, and I like it. But you're not going to tell me that you wouldn't miss the atmosphere of a North London derby. Come on.
Oh, I've lost you. 1 second.
I've got you there, mate.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You play the drums here, or what?
What did you say? The North London derby, the atmosphere?
Yes.
You're going to miss that if they go down?
We will probably get them in the FA Cup. We'll play them in the first round because that's the way the Mino's coming, isn't it?
All right, mate, brilliant. I need to let you go because the signal's not great, mate. We're going to speak to Jack. Jack's a West Ham fan. I've got no doubt Jack will have some sympathy.
Oh, he'll be happy, Jack.
Oh, no, Jack will have sympathy for no doubt about it. How are you, Jack?
How you doing, Jack?
How's it going? Oh, I tell you what, I absolutely loved that last night. That was better than any TV series I've ever watched in my life.
What did you enjoy? What did you enjoy more, Jack? Jack, tell me, what did you enjoy more, watching the game itself, or did you enjoy O'Hara's meltdown?
Mate, honestly, it was just absolutely brilliant. When Van der Ven took down, what's his face, Sarr, it was just absolutely brilliant. I had to pour myself a pint. It was absolutely fantastic. But I'll tell you what, I don't know if I'm wrong here, but if Arsenal win every single game until they play us in the league, I think they're going to have the league summed up. But I think they're going to have it done by then. And the chances are they're still going to be in the Champions League. And I tell you what, if they play their kids against us, that would just be absolutely brilliant because they're going to want to send Spurs down. And I don't even know when their next win is coming. It's absolutely fantastic, I tell you.
Well, there's one thing, Jack. There's one thing that you've got to do Arsenal a favour then, is beat Man City when you play them next. Yeah. I think you got Man City next, didn't you? At home.
Yeah, I tell you, we've definitely got a chance. I think we're showing some really good fight, and we could have a chance against City because they got some big games coming up. Real Madrid, and they've got the Carabao Cup final around the corner as well. So
definitely got a wee bit about you, Jack.
We've got a chance.
You've definitely got a wee bit about you. I was at a game Sunderland, comfortable against Sunderland. You lost a late equaliser to Man United. Šeško scored.
Oh yeah, some spirit down in there.
Yeah,
the fans are getting behind him.
Scored a couple of goals up at Liverpool. Good result at Fulham. Definitely got a wee bit about you, mate. Thanks for the call. Enjoy your weekend, mate. Now, just to remind you, you've got until 4 p.m. today for your chance to win the ultimate summer cricket day out for you and 11 mates. That's a big thanks to Pitch Experiences. Head to talksport.com /win to enter. Still coming breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
Yep, all happening. League Cup winner Spurs Ramon Vega's coming up 8 a.m. We'll also speak exclusively to Mansfield Town boss Nigel Clough. Looking forward to that ahead of tomorrow's FA Cup 5th round tie against champions-elect Arsenal. Champions-elect Arsenal. They've gone early in that one, which is live in talkSPORT. That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins. Champions-elect.
Ooh, don't like that.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
Fabrizio Romano is the man in question here. But the question that goes from many people at this particular time regarding Fabrizio is there a fine line between being a top journalist and being an influencer? Or can you be both? What's Romano done? He's been criticised after he posted a video on Twitter to his 27 million followers, which essentially, in the eyes of many, was an advert for Saudi Arabia and their humanitarian aid. Now, the video itself is about a couple of minutes long, but we've cut it down. This is Fabrizio.
King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center. Over 10 years since its inception, the center has implemented 4,212 projects in 113 countries worldwide, reflecting the leading humanitarian role of Saudi Arabia. 155 cases evaluated, patients from 28 countries across 5 continents. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia ranked second globally and first in the Arab world in humanitarian aid for 2025 and topped the list of the largest donors according to the United Nations Financial Tracking Service, FTS.
So for 2 minutes, Fabrizio tells us and lauds and applauds the work that is done by the King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Centre. But some other journalists have laid into Fabrizio for the post, some suggesting now that he helps unsettle the transfer market by putting up paid posts from agents and others.
7:52, it's Friday the 6th of March now. We're just 4 days from the start of the Cheltenham Festival. World-class racing and a world-class breakfast show. What more could you want?
Final flight again. Brazil has a chance.
I'll tell you why I'm going to make it all 5 days next. Well, I hope so.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I have no idea where Alan Brazil is.
I hope you never backed a winner, you old cow.
Brazil is trying to get through now to Gaelic Warrior. It's going to be very close. Brazil and Gaelic Warrior.
So we get over at the corporate. They've only stuck a lift in. And I went, hello. And then this woman turned and said, Alan, that's the Alan Brazil lift. I've got the Zeiss binoculars. I've got the defibrillator, just in case things go wrong. And I've got a right few quid to get in there, hidden she don't know about. Come on!
Yeah, that's correct. talkSPORT breakfast are on the road to Cheltenham all week long. We'll be down at Cheltenham, waking up the nation with one of the best weeks in the sporting calendar. It's fantastic. Big Al is taking a bit off this week just to get himself in prime condition to make it for the all 5 days next week, which I don't have any doubt he will be making. Speaking of, the biggest question, as I say, isn't who's winning the Gold Cup, it's whether he'll make his breakfast show. No doubt, none whatsoever. He will be there. Well, now, his fate is in your hands. We've just launched Project Cheltenham, a brand new mobile game. We have to help Big Al beat the odds to get on airtime. It's different class.
It's good, yeah.
It's good, mate.
Well, as you can see it behind us here, Ali. There we go.
There he goes. There, Big Al. It's brilliant, eh? Now, can you get him into the studio on time? Play it right now on your phone by visiting talksport.game/game. I beg your pardon, talksport.com/game. Go and get playing. It is quite fun. It's good fun. So when you dive into a bit of racing action and chat to current jump jockey champion who's banging his way to retaining his title, plus a great book of rides at Cheltenham next. Yes, it's Sean Bowen. A very good morning, Sean. How are you, mate?
How you doing, Sean?
Yeah, morning, guys. How are you?
We're in top form, Sean. Thanks very much. I know you're busy, particularly this time in the morning. Thanks very much for taking the time to join us this morning. Our preparation's going well, Sean. How's yours?
Yeah, a bit different to yours, I'd say. Yeah, no, all good. Keeping fit, and they're still racing every day, so we're racing every day up till Cheltenham. But yeah, looking forward to it this year. I think I've got sort of a better book of rides than I have done most years, so hopefully.
Sean, I've got to ask you, I mean, when that tape goes up in that first race on the Tuesday, you must get a real buzz. You know, the roar of the crowd and, you know, everybody loves Cheltenham. Everybody talks about Cheltenham, especially after Christmas. Everybody says, right, Cheltenham in a couple of months. Can't wait for that. So you must get a real buzz as well as being a jockey going to Cheltenham.
Yeah, even just driving in and, like, you know how big it is. Stuck in traffic for a few hours getting in, but you know how big it is coming into the race course, and the big crowds, and obviously all the Irish jockeys are over, Irish trainers, and yeah, it's just something like we don't do all year. It's obviously, we keep saying it's the Olympics of our sport, but it really is. It's it's something like we don't get all year round.
Sean, tell me, mate, if you would, tell me a little bit about your morning and your build up to your day's racing, because when we do the show from the Coral Box at Cheltenham, obviously when we get there it's dark, but as maybe the back of 7, whatever it would be, it gets a little bit lighter. We'll go out in the box,
horses come out,
and we see the horses come out for their early morning gallop and their canter, and it's just absolutely fantastic. Tell me a little bit, if you would, mate, about your preparation. Do you ride out in the morning of a Cheltenham festival? How early do you have to get there?
Yeah, look, every jockey sort of does it different. A few jockeys like to ride out, a few go out running. I'd like to sort of stay as quiet as I can really in the morning and build up for the day. I'd get there 3 hours before and then do my warm-ups then sort of an hour before racing, and I'd sort of prefer a more chilled morning than riding out, to be honest.
Yeah. Sean, you're having a great season again. We always need a little bit of help the Cheltenham week, so you've got some cracking rides. Who do you look at the most and say, well, that's I'm really looking forward to riding this horse, and he's got a great chance?
Yeah, look at obviously the Gold Cup is our biggest race, and I'm very lucky that I've picked up. Well, I've got a good ride in the race. Casey Claw's obviously an Irish Grand National winner, a Welsh Grand National winner. He's won a Denver Chase. He goes there with all sort of the right attributes for the race, and the Gold Cup's our highlight of the year, and I'm lucky this year I've got a good ride in the race.
Brilliant, Sean. Listen, mate, you had a great year last year. You're having a great year this year. Fingers crossed you have a very successful Cheltenham. Our best wishes, mate.
Thank you very much.
All the best, Sean.
Good luck to you, mate. Here, Alan Brazil, bring you the brilliant talkSPORT breakfast show live from the festival for all 5 days next week. And don't forget a brand new game. Can you get Alan Brazil in Cheltenham? Go and play Project Cheltenham. It is worthwhile, guys. Honestly, God, I sat on it for 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
That's good.
They're coming up, League Cup winner with Spurs, Ramon Vega, is going to join us, and we'll be getting his verdict on what is happening at Tottenham. David, good morning, mate. First
Good
of all,
morning,
how are
David.
you?
Morning, all.
David, here's a quick one for you, mate. I know we'll not be talking European football. We'll calm everything down. I want to start with this statistic, right, which I would imagine would please you as much as anything. Everton, after reaching the 40-point mark in 28 games, that's only the second time they've done that in 9 seasons. Now, I reckon that in itself is an achievement. But, and I know you'll play it down, you must have a wee thought about European football.
Well, I said right at the start, Coisty, that I said to the players that, we need to try and aim for it and hope that it was possible. In truth, it looked a million miles away, to be honest, at the start. But I have to say, we got off to a pretty good start in the league, and it's given us something to hold on to. We've been up and down, and we're probably just on the outside of European football, if we're honest. But we're not that far away that we couldn't try and make a go of it.
David, obviously the Grealish injury was disappointing, but how happy are you now with the competition for places? Beto and Barry are in great form. You've got McNeil and Dibbling fighting for a spot. NDI and Tyreek George. You've got Branthwaite back as well. The squad's looking more healthy now, isn't it?
It certainly is. I mean, I have to say, Jack was brilliant for us in the early part of the season. He gave us lots of things which we haven't had, and he helped the team greatly. So we've missed him, and we missed him over the middle of the season, middle of sort of December and January, really, when we had also a few injuries as well. But probably no different to other clubs. But we're just beginning to find our feet a little bit again, and the players you mentioned, they're all beginning to step up.
Would you give up the chance to play for your country to become a global star of your sport and earn big money doing it? Well, that's the choice facing rugby players right now because of the proposed new R360 League. Led by 2003 World Cup winner Mike Tindall, it's already being backed by major investors. Its goal? Turn rugby union into franchises, not clubs, add some serious cash and a bit of razzmatazz. Or in their words, make the game more watchable, accessible and entertaining, especially for younger audiences. But there's been a huge pushback, a massive no way from the current game. So what exactly is R360 and why is it controversial? Rugby union is facing challenges on a domestic level right now. There's huge financial instability across even top-tier clubs. The English game has seen leading clubs like Wasps, London Irish and Worcester go out of business in the top flight. The Welsh provincial game is in total disarray too. R360 says they would remove what are easily some clubs' biggest expenses, i.e. the big stars, and therefore make more of them profitable. So the plan is to inject a new lease of life into the sport. But how exactly? Top stars of the men and women's game playing for a franchise-based league with fixtures in cities like London, Miami, Tokyo and Lisbon. each city would host a tournament featuring all the franchises during a short 3-month season. And though no players have officially confirmed, reports suggest around 200 have signed pre-contracts, some worth up to 750 grand. And if that's the pre-contract, you can imagine where the full wages will get to. Problem is, the rest of rugby says no. In fact, no way. The national unions from England, Scotland, Ireland, France, Italy, South Africa, New Zealand and Australia have declared any player joining R360 will be banned from test selection. World Rugby's also not approved the league. Many fear it echoes football's failed European Super League, a top-down, money-driven idea that could damage the sport's traditions. So is it dead already? Well, Rugby Union is at a crossroads. Some may be against it, but we know others are being swayed by the cash. So will everything work itself out? Or after the European Super League and Live Golf, have we got sport's next big scandal on our hands?
Minutes past 8, Friday the 6th of March, talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Ali and Ray with you this morning, but harsh this, Ray. This has come in for Anthony Cassidy. Pretty sure Ali's passed a brown envelope to whoever made the Ireland Brazil game. The animation has made him look 20 years younger and a right few kilos lighter.
That's a bit strong, Andy.
By the way, Anthony, I would far rather you directed your criticism at the Spurs fans today.
Jill's looking well as well.
By the way, that's the best ever. Anthony,
Jill,
get the message in now. Now, Jill, I've got to say, Brazil is a fine-looking lady, right? However, she looks like Cindy Crawford, man. She's looking nothing short of sensational in this game. And look at the biggin, to be fair. He's even looking well. They've done a couple of kilos off him. He has lost a couple of kilos, to be fair to him.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
Looking well. OK, thanks for that, Anthony. Really appreciate that. Now, though, Spurs are staring into the mire after yet another home defeat.
The Tottenham fans are not happy. There's a big banner that's been unfurled behind the goal away to our right-hand side that says, "Built a business, killed a football club."
They're a disgrace. They are an absolute disgrace.
And Spurs' lead lasted 5 minutes. They've lost their captain and their best defender as well for the rest of the game.
I've never, ever left the ground before the final whistle. It's not their football club. It's my football club as a fan. It's a disgrace and it's heartbreaking.
I will tell you now one thing, maybe it can sound very strange. I believe more now after this game than before because I saw something.
Get rid of him. He's lost 3 games on the bounce. We are the only team in the Premier League ever to bring in a new manager, to get a new manager bounce, and we get a worse bounce.
Spurs 1, Crystal Palace 3. Ismail Assar has his second, and this was so simple.
I really hope they go down this year, and it hurts me to say that.
1 point outside the relegation zone without a win this calendar year.
Wow. It's just unbelievable, it really is. Less than a year ago, Spurs were celebrating Europa League success.
Amazing.
Under Big Ange, who triumphantly declared that, like every good TV series, Season 3 will be even better than Season 2. Not long after that, Big Ange was dismissed, with Tottenham looking to compete on all fronts. They're still in the Champions League, but only a point above the relegation zone, with Anfield coming up next and Forest at home following that, with 2 games against Atletico Madrid in between. Harry Redknapp will join us at 8:45 this morning, and we'll find out if he's got a call yet with so many Spurs fans, including Jamie Hara, asking him to go in. But joining us now for more is someone who lost his mind live on this show when Ange was sacked in June. It's a very, very good morning to Night in the League Cup winner with Spurs, Ramon Vega. Ramon, how are you this morning?
How you doing, Ramon?
Listen, Ramon, before we start, first thing I'm asking you, how are you? I hope you're safe.
Well, good morning, both of you. Thanks, first of all, Oscar. Let me first of all, I'm safe. It's safe to start with, but we had a really kind of a story last Saturday. Lucky to my wife, instinct, when all pretty much went on, because as you imagine, I will be on the pond now, on the beach, seeing in the background, always we had, the beautiful, calm pond.
Yep.
But she said, after the first time, let's pack all of that as soon as possible. About 50 luggages. My in-laws, 8 years old as well. And we looked into on the map where are not the big cities who are potentially being attacked. Obviously, not Abu Dhabi and Dubai. So we went about a couple of hours away from Dubai now.
Yep.
We are in a hotel. We are kind of in the lower part of the hotel because that's a little bit safer point of view. But it's only about a couple of days ago in this part of the region where we are now has really had that kind of, that anxious way of alarm that, the missiles are coming into it, But part of that, I have to say, the country really acted very prompt, extremely safe in terms of how they're actually keeping us safe.
Good.
Of course, everybody's anxious when missiles going around your head. But these guys really defending this country, unbelievable.
That's great, Ramon. Clearly,
it's surreal situation. We are not coming down to this region because we are whatever region. We came actually because obviously we've been engaged to work with football in this region, but also in Asia. So we thought, my wife said, we need to be in the region to understand the region, how it works, etc. And not from Europe advising people,
Yeah.
And also, it's also easy from here to go to Asia, to fly, etc. That's one of the reasons why actually we are in this region. But at the same time, until now, we really felt safe in this country. And we still feel safe, to be honest with you. It's just really kind of terrible situation that I just hope the diplomatic point of view, they're really sitting on the table as soon as possible and get this sorted out, because nobody will win here in this war.
Absolutely, mate. The most important thing, that puts everything into perspective. Absolutely, everybody's safety is of paramount importance. Now, we're going to something that's very important. Clearly not as important as what you just spoke about, but I did say it's probably the most important of the less important things. That's the best way I would put it. Tottenham Hotspur, Ramon, dear, oh dear, oh dear. I kept saying for weeks, I think they're in trouble, but I'm not sure I believed it myself. But I tell you what, I believe it now, mate.
Well, Ray, I tell you what, obviously Ray must be very, very laughing there because he's in the front side point of view, Arsenal.
I know.
But it is absolutely disgrace. And Alimi, I'm kind of straightforward talk how it is. Some people say I'm criticising too much Tottenham, but it's the reason of because we like Tottenham, we love Tottenham, I play for them, I want something for them. It is an absolute disgrace in terms of how it's been managed, how it's been handled. Actually, this season, one of the worst of all of the season. But it's an accumulation of an absolutely recruitment disaster over years and years and years. This kind of saving on part of the salary, they're not getting a top player into it, especially now this season, makes it really hard to understand why in January have they not put one or two strikers or an experienced one, because they knew they had many injuries in place and they should handle that. I remember at the time when we were at the relegation battle, I experienced extremely well with that club, But in January market, Alan Sugar at the time handled very quickly with Klinsmann coming back to the club. And frankly saying, at the end of the day, the last game of the season, he was the one pretty much against Wimbledon, really kept us up. But that's what's not happening with these kind of board and owners. I'm not sure they really understand the seriousness of what's happening at the moment and where is this club going into it. From my point of view now, that ownership has to really think very seriously, are they want to sell it as soon as possible? Because this has to be taken over by professional, people from the football industry as well, and make sure that this club actually deserves what the club's name is and the reputation. At this point now, that reputation and brand of the club is a disaster.
Ramon, the manager, was you surprised when he got the job? Everybody was talking about Harry Redknapp just to the end of the season, just to get the feel-good factor back into Spurs. They went with Tudor. I don't know a lot about him, but his record at other clubs has been pretty good. But was you surprised?
Well, yes. In one part, I'm surprised. In another part, no, because thinking of how these guys manage the club, I'm not really surprised in that point of view. Of course, Harry Redknapp knows the club. He has the DNA. He was there, like myself. He understands the nuances were really on the club. And of course, the fans obviously know him as well. Yeah. So have that kind of positive factor will come into it. Now, can he then also transit to these players? Well, actually, I'm seeing here, Ray, yesterday, these players are a disaster. Yeah. Frankly saying, I'm not seeing men on the pitch. They are little kids who are pretty much, first of all, don't know where they're going, earning a hell of a lot of money to start with, let's be honest, but they're not really fighting for the club at the moment. It looks like they're disinterested. People are already talking about the summer leaving. Don't even couple of seasons here. They're lucky to be at Spurs in the first place because they came from the Bundesliga, etc. I'm not going to mention names of players because the whole squad is responsible. Now, coming back to the manager himself, the one problem I have, if the manager was a player, he will have 11 characters like him because he has the character and the kind of gladiator way of fighting. But unfortunately, he's on the sideline when he can't really transmit that character to the players at the moment. But I see only now one way, and I've been there in the relegation battle, and it was awful. The dressing room was a disaster in terms of everybody was blaming each other, etc. But one thing we had at the 90s at the time, we're talking that David Ginola, Jurgen Klinsmann, of course, Sol Campbell, Justin Edinburgh, all of these, we had characters. We know it's actually now, we need to get the finger out now and really put a performance week in, week out. This is not about nice football anymore now. This is surviving now. And this player really have to put the mentality into it. Guys, this is not about anymore if you're good or bad anymore. This is about you getting these 3 points across the line to make sure you're actually going to play Premier League. Otherwise, thank you very much. You have to leave in the summer.
Time to get your sleeves rolled up, Ramon. Time to get your sleeves rolled up and get amongst it. You stay safe. Thanks again for your time, mate.
Cheers, Ramon.
Stay safe.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, mate. All the best. Stay tuned this morning for Spurs Inquest. I'll be joined by not one but two former Spurs managers. Tim's going to join us. That's great. Tim Sherwood and obviously Harry both be with us this morning. Coming next, though, we're going to head to the front page in everyone's favourite Friday feature. As, of course, Ballard.
Let's go to Lauren, who's Arsenal fan. All right, Lauren?
Oh, hi, Jamie. Sorry, it's actually Laura, the Arsenal fan.
All right, Laura.
Hi. How are you, boys?
Yeah, we're good. How are you? You feeling good?
Up the Chelsea.
Oh, I'm feeling great. I've just come fresh off the back of presenting the Arsenal game on TNT and just, to be honest, really enjoyed it, Jay.
Oh, it's Woodsy.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Yay!
Woodsy, you've done it.
What's happening?
Woodsy, why is it taking you so long to phone us up?
Do you know what? I've been revelling in a brilliant season. I've just been enjoying myself.
You know what? It's bad if Woodsy's phoning us up. It's bad.
About you,
Hold on.
boys.
Where have you been when you've been bottling it, Woodsy? What's happened? All of a sudden you go 7 points clear and you phone us.
Jamie, I had to scroll down my phone. It took about 5 minutes to find you on the table.
Oh, Woodsy, this is a
scrolling.
Spurs ain't even played, and it's the worst night for us ever. I'm like, what is going on?
I don't even want to answer questions. I just want to ask you how you're feeling.
Woodsy, take the floor.
Woodsy.
I'll sit back and enjoy it. All right, take the
Woodsy,
floor.
I feel sick. I feel sick as a dog right now. Honestly.
How awful is it? How bad on a scale of like 1 to Spurs is it right now?
I can't believe I'm getting stick off Woodsy.
Woodsy, can I ask you,
up talkSPORT.
Woodsy,
What's
can I ask you a
going on
question?
here?
Woodsy, do you want Spurs to get relegated?
If I had a choice of which one, is that what you're asking me?
Woodsy, answer whatever way you want, right? Do you want Spurs to get
No.
relegated?
No, I absolutely don't want Spurs to get relegated because I want to enjoy more North London derby pummeling for years to come. For years to come.
Okay, we're not messing about now. 8:19, Friday, 6th of March. We're going straight into Coral and Simon Clare.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here to make this Cheltenham Festival more rewarding. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Simon, a very good morning. How are you?
Morning, Simon.
Well, I'm good, Ali. I'm good, Ray. And I mean, it's fascinating, really. I mean, you're just hearing you talk to Sean and focusing on the Cheltenham and the special preparation that these trainers give to horses building up to Cheltenham, but never has a competitor at Cheltenham been given a better preparation than Alan Brazil for next week.
It's a wonderful preparation. And my first question's involving his much beloved club. What praise can you give me, Celtic not getting a controversial goal at the weekend coming up? what can you? In all seriousness, his preparation for this next week has been nothing short of meticulous, Simon.
Well, I mean, they used to say about Best Mate, who won 3 Gold Cups. He never got the credit he deserved because people said they never saw him much in the build-up to Cheltenham.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that with Alan Brazil now, isn't it? You know, he's all having time up and everything. We've got to have him in peak shape to do the 5 days. But no, it's all very exciting. I have played the Project Cheltenham game, which is good.
That's great.
although they do play fast and loose with that crab excuse, because that was a Royal Ascot day he missed.
Yeah. I was going to say they don't have a lot of crab at Cheltenham.
Hey, Simon, I'm sitting at the airport coming down last night, and there's people walking by me, and they're looking at me playing my thumbs on this phone. They think I get locked up. I'm a daft wee boy. It was hilarious.
It is brilliant. It is brilliant.
That is very, very good. Listen, Simon, last night, dear me, we'll move on to the top of the table shortly, but last night, I mean, they're odds on now, aren't they?
Well, look, I mean, where once you were sort of saying maybe they could be relegated, I think now we're in the realms of saying they definitely can. And the odds now 13-8 Tottenham, 6-4 West Ham. We're basically saying, but it's tied to like it's 11-4 Forest, and Leeds now not out of either at 6-1. We've got 1-100 Wolves, 1-100 Burnley. Let's presume now it's the one spot we're fighting for. But it's desperate times at Spurs. I mean, to lose at home in that fantastic stadium to a Palace side who themselves hadn't. I mean, what do you think? I mean, sitting here now, who would you say?
I get it mixed up there, mate. I saw it was 13-8. For some reason, I thought it was 13-8, and it's clearly not 13-8. But I'll tell you right now, you know the big difference for me, and I was saying to Ray, Simon, I'm looking at West Ham, sleeves rolled up, getting ripped in about it. I'm looking at Forest, sleeves rolled up, unbelievable draw at City. I'm looking at Leeds, beating at home with Sunderland, but and they were looking over their shoulder, but they look as though they've got a bit about them. I'm not sure Tottenham have got anything about them. No.
It's so worrying, and no new man. I mean, you wouldn't not so much a new manager bounce. It's like a new manager. It's a new manager reverse even faster, isn't it? Like it's terrible, So watch this space, and that's going to be that's turned into obviously the title race. Arsenal City still very much alive, but the relegation subplot becoming one of the most fascinating parts of the Premier League.
They'll be heavy. Sorry, Ray. Your team will be heavy odds on now, Simon. Come on, and my
1 to 5. 1 to 5.
I think the top 4 or 5 is going to be interesting as well, Simon. I mean, Aston Villa. Villa is just. I saw Emery after the game against Chelsea, and he looked like we're in a bad situation at the moment. We need to get ourselves out of it. And with Liverpool losing, they got away with it a little bit with Man United losing to Newcastle, and obviously Liverpool losing to Wolves. But that fourth and fifth position is going to be really interesting.
Well, it's pulled Chelsea back into it, because I think Chelsea were out to about 4-1, because it looked like they'd just dropped off the pack almost. But that win, so now it's incredible, really. Michael Carrick, what a job he's doing. 1-3 Man United to get a top 4 spot. 5-6 Liverpool. It's 11-8 Villa, where they were 4-7. I think even before the Chelsea game, they were 4-6 or something. And Chelsea now just 6-4. So again, really interesting. 4 big clubs there now. The interesting thing is we're betting on top 4, but I think the coefficient, or whatever you call it, means actually top 5 will probably get you Champions League football. So we'll probably have to look at opening a market on that as well. But because that's going to be the crucial spot, that top 5 space. But all to play for. And obviously, weekend off for all these sides as we have a little break for the FA Cup, which is a bit of fun.
Yeah, and what is the odds for the FA Cup, Simon?
Hey, we're favourites, Ray. Arsenal
favourites as well.
Favourites for the Champions League. Favourites for the Carabao Cup. We're favourites for everything.
I know. You're saying favourites for the Gold Cup.
Well, exactly. We're favourites. Favourites to complete Cheltenham. But look, it's 11-4 Arsenal, 9-2 Man City. But the reason we're favourites, or clear favourites, is because we're obviously
the draw's been
Mansfield.
kind.
Yeah, exactly. We're 1-12. To beat Mansfield, whereas City away to Newcastle, still favourites at even money. And these sides know each other very well with the Carabao Cup semi-final 2 legs, and Newcastle 9-4 at home, 3-1 the draw. But they'll fancy a break from the Premier League. Obviously, they could have a good run at City, and obviously fighting on all fronts is always challenging. I mean, but there's other sides. Leeds have got that relegation battle, but they're 4-9 against Norwich. They'd love to get into the latter stages of the Cup. Wrexham Chelsea, great game that, isn't it? 4-1. Wrexham Chelsea 2-5 away from home there. So, and of course we got a match tonight. I think Wolves Liverpool's tonight, and again fresh from Wolves' amazing win. They're 9-2 at home to win again, 7-2 the draw, and we make Liverpool 2s on to win away. But it's a good tie tonight.
Just a quick one, Simon. The 2 big sporting events, as per usual, are north of the border this weekend. Simon, let's not mess about. Scotland versus France, right? That's the big one, followed by Rangers Celtic in the Cup on Sunday. What are you giving me, mate? Come on.
What am I giving you on the Six Nations?
Barney Rubble.
Oh, I mean,
Scotland are 100-30.
Yeah.
France are 1-4, and the handicap is 10-11. Scotland against France. I mean, is it Murrayfield?
It's at Murrayfield. Oh, yeah.
Listen, they've got a real chance. Real chance.
The French look the best side in the tournament by a mile.
Yeah.
We've done all right after a disappointing start in Italy, beating England, and then coming back against the Wales, giving ourselves a little bit of a chance. England have been a disappointment. Some good games. I think it's Wales Island, England. I don't think England are a shoe-in against Italy, and obviously Rangers Celtic the weekend. Great sporting action at the weekend, Simon. I will look forward to speaking to you early on in the week. And
just a quick shout out. Actually, Sean Bowen was just on, wasn't he?
He was brilliant. He was,
yes.
But he's obviously a Coral ambassador. And one thing which people might not fully realise, he first rode at the Cheltenham Festival in 2014. He was second on Arpage de Laine when he was 17 years old the year after. And yet, despite riding 200 winners this season, he's the reigning champion jockey. He's never ridden a winner at the Cheltenham Festival.
Wow.
And he's 4 to 5 to get a win this year. He's got Haiti Claire in the Gold Cup. He's got Wade out on the first day, which I think is one of his big fancies for Ollie Murphy. He'll pick up lots of good rides during the week. But we put out a lovely piece of video content today on our Coral social channels. And there's some more coming with a good interview with Sean Bowen, where he talks beautifully about his family, his desire to win at Cheltenham.
Great lad.
So go and have a look at that. But we'll all be cheering on Sean.
I had it written down in front of me, but I didn't want to remind him of that. Simon.
He doesn't mind. He's such a good guy. He's self-deprecating. There's no edge to him at all, and he's a brilliant bloke to deal with. So I think everyone should be cheering on Sean Byrne next week at Cheltenham.
No doubt about it. Simon, great to talk to you.
Simon.
Cheers, guys.
See you next week.
That was a look at the latest odds with Coral 18+, gambleaware.org. Now, coming up, 2 former Spurs managers, Harry and Tim, coming next.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral's Rewards Shaker. Make this Cheltenham Festival more rewarding with 100,000 free bets to be won every day. 18+ online. Max 1 reward per player per day. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Reward restrictions and T's and C's apply. Gambleaware.org.
Every game, every week, where the goalkeepers go over, they do that one where they go up to the ball, they jump, and then they fall forward, and they waste 4 or 5 seconds on the floor. Every single goalkeeper does
I liked what you said before that, though, Gary. We're closing ranks, and we're just getting on with it. Daniel's a big Arsenal fan. Do you agree with Gary there, Daniel? You're closing ranks, and you're just getting on with it.
I fully agree with Daniel. I fully agree with Gary.
Yeah.
Reason being is, do you remember before Arteta joined Arsenal, how Arsenal was before? We were walk the ball into the net, weak old Arsenal. You can't win games like that. Now we're strong Arsenal, we're boisterous Arsenal, and I love the fact that we're playing housery. Love it. Finally, Arsenal are doing a bit of housery. What every other team has been doing for the last 40 years that I've been alive. Why is it that Arsenal seems to be the problem?
Right. Okay. Why do you think that this is the top topic of conversation this morning? Because everybody else outside Arsenal, it seems, isn't having it.
Well, it could be down to jealousy. It could be down to Gabby and Bonlahor spatting out rubbish, or Jamie O'Hara, jealous O'Hara, spatting his rubbish.
Okay.
It could be down to that.
You're not bothered, Daniel. As long as you drive towards winning this title, that's all that counts.
No way. Arsenal! Arsenal! Arsenal!
Okay, Daniel, thank you for that.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ali and Ray with you this morning, and of course our very good friends Arnold Clark, with over 20,000 used cars online to choose from. They will without doubt have a car for you. You're going to head back to the phone lines, but this man is no regular caller. Harry Redknapp will be with us in around 50 minutes, and we'll build up another former Spurs boss. It's time to say a very good morning to ex-Tottenham captain and gaffer Tim Sherwood. Tim, very good morning. Thanks for taking the time to join us, mates.
How you doing, Tim?
No problem, guys. How you doing? You all right?
We're in top form, Tim. Top form. Something that can't be said about Tottenham. I watched the game last night, mate. Had a couple of pints, sat and watched it. Couldn't believe what I was watching. However, I shouldn't have been shocked, should I?
Not really. I mean, it ain't been great, is it? I think there was nothing in the game until Mickey gets sent off. I think where the club are, I don't think he pulls him back. You know, I think he took a heavy touch, Sarr. They didn't make that decision quick enough, and unfortunately, once he gets a red card and Sarr takes the penalty and scores, it was an uphill struggle from there, because you know you could feel the anxiety just breathe to the pitch from the group of fans there. So, which is understandable. You totally understand it with the position they're in. They just need to find a way. You know, they need to find a way to try and get out of this. And the one thing I would say, they can't keep worrying about who's not there. I think the manager has to be positive, and he has to try and find a solution, a way of playing what suits the players, not playing them out of position. Try and stop the goals going in at one end, and you know, you've got enough threats there. I mean, people will say, well, how have they got enough threats? I mean, they've got 65 million Richarlison, they've got 60 million Solanke, they've got 75 million Kolo Muani to PSG, and now he's on loan. You know, they paid 50 mil, whatever it was, 45 for Matches Tell. They've got players. Stop worrying about what's on the injury side, because you ain't getting them back. Give the confidence to the ones who are there, and find a playing style what suits them the best, and stick to it, and try and get as many points you possibly can, because I think they need probably 3. And the way West Ham and Forest are going now, maybe 4 wins to keep them in the league. Now that sounds like we're nigh on 50% of the games, you know. So, and they ain't won in 2026. It's a tough task.
Tim, they've had a decent run in the old Champions League. Maybe it's a game like that, Atletico. Everybody fancies Atletico to get through, but maybe they can get a result there. Will give the players a bit of confidence going back into the league games.
Yeah, mate, any win's a win, Ray. You know what it's like. Confidence. You might be right. I mean, they have done well, but let's face it, the teams they played have not been fantastic. And, you know, take nothing away from them. They finished, you know, in automatic qualification position. So give them the credit for that. But the Bundesliga and the French league and, you know, Portuguese league is nothing like the Premier League. And we know that. A lot of these players are brought to Tottenham. If you're a manager of Tottenham or you're a player coming in, you're told you need to be in the Champions League. I mean, they're a million miles from that at the moment. And they're not conditioned. That's the only worry. They're not conditioned to play in this environment. And they didn't come expecting a relegation battle, but that's where they are. and the manager needs to give them the confidence and get a feel-good factor going there to try and achieve it.
I think you say something, Tim, that's really important, mate. Really important. They're not used to that environment. And I'm going to ask you a question. I'm looking at it, mate. I'm looking at West Ham, and I mentioned it earlier. They look as though they've got the sleeves rolled up. I think Leeds have the sleeves rolled up. You know, Forest clearly look as though they've got the sleeves rolled up. Tottenham are going to have to do it. Have they got the boys to do it?
You got to believe they have. You know, you have to believe it. He has to find the right characters. He's in there every day, so he's getting to have a chat with them. He sees the mentality of some of them. You have to try and get to know them as quickly as possible as people. The only negative out is that for me, he's went in there and said we will 100% stay in the Premier League. I'll guarantee it. And now he's gone from we need bodies back as quickly as possible. We're not fit enough. We're not good at the back. We're not good in the middle, and we're not too good at the front. So they're listening to that. I'm not sure how you receive that as a player, because I'm not sure many of these players are willing to play or think they're gonna be asked to play in a championship. Because I read someone wrote in the Athletic the other day saying they're all going to drop 50%. I'm not sure they are. I think them one or two maybe, but like I said, no one's coming into that club to get relegated. So, as astute as Daniel Levy was, I'm not sure he's put a clause in everyone's contract where they take 50%.
Yeah,
so
I know what you mean.
At the moment, when I look at it, Ali, it doesn't look like they got the hurt. Yeah. Where is the deterrent? Where's the deterrent to get relegated? I'm not sure it's there. Well, it certainly ain't going to hurt them as much as it hurts the fans, and that's what it's all about.
For sure, Tim. Thanks for your time this morning.
Man, Tim.
Really appreciate it. Have a good weekend, mate.
Guys.
All the best.
Have a look at Peak, yeah?
Yeah, Peak, yeah. Well, I'm aware on that. Are you on that, Ali? That's good, isn't it? It's good. No,
Well,
blinded.
Top stuff, Tim. Thanks, mate. I
Well done,
appreciate
Tim.
it. FA Cup fifth round takes centre stage this weekend with all 8 ties on talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2. And I'm delighted to say joining us now is a man who's hoping to mastermind what would be the biggest shock of the weekend. That's for sure. He said he didn't want Manchester City in a draw, so how happy is it me that I pulled out Arsenal from? It's a very good morning to Nigel Clough. Nigel, good morning.
Morning, Nigel.
Good morning, Ali.
Listen,
good morning, Ray. Yeah, I've been meaning to thank you, Ali, for that one.
Nigel, before I get any further, mate, I think I was in control of the home ties.
Yeah. Well, our chairman's not too happy with you because I think he'd have preferred it to be at the Emirates.
I think he probably would have, mate. But listen, in all seriousness, I mean, clearly you're very well aware of the task. But at the same time, I'm guessing you and the boys are really looking forward to the tie coming up.
Oh, definitely. It's close to being a free hit as you can have, really. Yeah. To reach this stage is a big bonus for us. So let's go out. Let's go and have a go at them. Make it as uncomfortable as we can. We're more than aware of their capabilities and how good they are. I think somebody told me that their squad's over 900 million. Ours cost 200,000. So there's the difference right there.
And I'm sure, Nige, the training has stepped up. They're all excited about playing the Premier League side, and the training, the guys in training are really looking forward, because this is people's dreams. This is what you're being a footballer for, to play in the big games, and it's a massive game on TV, and they've just got to go out there and enjoy it and play the best they can.
There was a sense of excitement, I think, from the players as soon as the draw was made, and the supporters in the town and everything. Not so much from the manager and the staff, but certainly from the players and everybody else. And yeah, I think as a League One player, this is what you dream about, playing against the Premier League leaders.
Can I ask you, Nigel? I mean, there've been comments made regarding Arsenal. A lot of them, I think, absolutely ridiculous. Going on about their set plays and their lack of attacking flair, whether some people criticising, saying they're not easy in the eye, which I think nonsense really, because at the stage of the season they just want to win games. But the point I was going to ask you, clearly they are excellent and do a lot of work on set plays. Now, I know you'll do a lot of work on set plays yourself, it's part of your job, but have you been working out any special tactics for them? Have you been working harder this week on particularly defending set plays?
No, we've done very little training. We had a tough game at Rotherham on Tuesday, on the back of one on Saturday in terrible conditions against Wimbledon. So we've done next to nothing in terms of that. We've got a few injuries as well. We've got to look after the key players. So, no, the top of the Premier League and the teams around them can't stop them scoring. So I don't know what you think we're going to do that's special to stop them being a bottom half League One side. There's one ball coming into the penalty area. That never changes. Go and try and head it.
I'll tell you what. Right. I'll tell you what, mate. I was looking at your result of the week. Beg your pardon, Tuesday, nothing each. I mean, it's difficult. I'm saying it's difficult. Ray mentioned that the lads in the training, they want extra spring in their step. Can you see a difference? Can you see the difference in the excitement? Does the level of training step up?
A little bit, yeah. We're more than conscious how important the league is to us. So personally, yes, it has. Everyone's been building up to that. But we've had 2 good results at home. We should, as an argument, say we should have won both games, Wimbledon rather than the last couple. So we take a little bit of confidence into it that we've not lost. Well, this is a complete one-off, and we'll be saying that to the players. Just go and enjoy it, and make sure we make it as uncomfortable as we can for them. That's all we can do.
Nigel, as I said, Nigel, you never know, though, do you? You never know. No. Look at Macclesfield.
100%.
Beat Palace.
Exactly. 100%.
So, look, it can happen. If Arsenal players go there and they just take the foot off the pedal, think it's an easy game.
Nigel, it's pretty straightforward to keep that chairman happy, mate. Just get yourself a draw and get the away leg on a replay done at the Emirates. Should be terrific.
I wish we could, but with there being no replays.
I know. I'm winding you up, mate. I'm winding you up.
I know.
I was about to say, Andy, what are you talking about?
The other side of that is also that you have got 2 hours to get to penalties. If you can defend well enough to get to it, you've got penalties. So you've possibly got a better chance of getting through than, the replay. But the chairman said it's okay, don't worry about it. Just get through it the next round and get a big draw away in the next round.
Well, I was at Macclesfield, mate, and I'll tell you what, the atmosphere in that place, fans, I think we did the draw from the social club, mate. The atmosphere was absolutely amazing, and I don't have any doubt it'll be the same for your place tomorrow, mate. I'm wishing you all the very, very best.
Thank you. It'll be a great atmosphere, and we're going to enjoy it.
Thanks, Nigel.
Cheers,
all the best, mate. Big game for them, eh?
Yeah, massive.
Yeah.
Hey. I know, look,
you never know, mate.
This is what the FA Cup's all about, isn't it? These draws, and I'm sure the town is buzzing. I know a few guys going up there. What's the nightlife in Mansfield like? They're going up tonight. They're going to go.
No way.
Yeah, they'll be going up later on.
I played there. I want to say, is it Field Mill? No,
I've never played Mansfield.
I played there when I was a boy.
What sort of attendance is it?
No idea. But I'll tell you what, there'll not be many tickets.
But it's great. I mean, this is what you want. And as Nigel says there, they're gutted really because the players would love an away draw. They're realistic. They know they're not going to get to the final. So you want one big day out. Whether it's Old Trafford, whether it's Anfield, whether it's Stamford Bridge, whether it's the Tottenham Stadium.
You want to go.
Still
a great game.
And for the financial side of it as well, it's massive.
I would imagine the difference is absolutely incredible. I know they'll get TV money and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But you're talking about the revenue actually. Going to the
and you know for full well, if you've played at the Emirates, you're gonna pack cat. It's 60,000. Correct. Because there's people who can't go to the home games like in the league games, but it might be an opportunity to go to a cup game.
100%.
So and that's massive revenue for the clubs as well.
Well, I'll tell you what we've been doing. We've been trying to get Jamie O'Hara on morning. Can we get Jamie?
Where's Jamie?
I'm looking through that window. It's people shaking their heads.
I saw him queuing up outside the Samaritans.
Do you think so?
Shut up!
There he is. That's what we need. We need that every hour. Coming up, Jamie O'Hara was on the Sports Bar saying we need to get our next guest in at Spurs right now. Harry will be joining us next.
Manchester United. Has anyone seen Michael Carrick's new contract? New job offer. Job offer. Can you hear me contract? You almost don't win. Hell of a beating Fergie. Blessing Ruben Amorim. Where have you been, Ruben Amorim? Eric Ten Hag. Wreck-It Ralph. Can you hear me, Wreck-It Ralph? You almost don't win. Hell of a beating Ollie at the wheel. That's my mate. What's happening? It's all gone wrong. Help me out, quick. Help me out. Has Has anyone seen Darren Fletcher? Has anyone seen Fred the Red? Fred the Red, your boy took one hell of a beat, Mick Hucknall. The Big Rat Barbecue. The Big Rat Barbecue. Can you hear me, Big Rat? Your boy took one hell of a beat, Alex Crook. Frank Islet. Can you hear me, Crookie? Andy Goldstein. Andy Goldstein. Andy Goldstein. Your boy took one hell of a beat. Has anyone seen Aston Villa? Has anyone seen Gabby Agbonlor? Your boy took one hell of a beating up the shells.
Terrible night for Spurs. We ain't even kicked a ball. Arsenal put themselves 7 points clear at the top of the table. They were shocking, though, but they managed to win. Man City threw it away. West Ham won. They're starting to look decent. Nottingham Forest get a point. Spurs, oh, wow, we're 1 point above the drop zone. What is going on? Chelsea, they made a statement. 4-1 win. What on earth has happened to Aston Villa? They fell off
a cliff.
They have gone. And Manchester United, woo! What's happened there? They've thrown that away as well.
This morning, 8:49, Friday the 6th of March. Right, we're talking Spurs all morning. Now we're joined by a man who will officially be free to lead Spurs after next Friday. That's interesting, when he's hopefully celebrating victory in the Cheltenham Gold Cup. It is a very, very good morning to our great friend Harry Redknapp. Harry, how are you this morning?
How you doing, Harry?
Right. All good, lads. Yeah.
Brilliant. Listen, before we move on to all things Tottenham, how's your build-up going for next week, mate?
Yeah, I'm ready, all ready. Look, you know, Sanders he's got a new outfit. I gave her 15 quid to get a new outfit. she's looking right. We're ready to go.
Brilliant, mate. We're all looking forward to it, that's for sure. Now, I'm guessing you watched the game last night, Harry. Dear me, yeah. I was sitting and watched it a couple of pints myself. I just sat and watched that game. I mean, the sending off obviously changes the game. I thought when they get the break with the offside goal, I thought, well, here we go, and then they score immediately after it. But it just turned into a disaster, mate, didn't it?
Yeah, another disaster. I mean, and the more you look, listen, 4 or 5 weeks ago, Ali, I didn't, I really couldn't see Tottenham being involved in a relegation scrap. It's every week's gone by, it's got worse. West Ham are now playing very well, which is great. Forest picked up a big point the other night, and the only other side getting sucked in now is Leeds. Yeah. They've got sucked into that battle as well. I thought they were clear because they've had a good season, played ever so well. But Tottenham are banging it now, must be truthful. They're looking like, they could even be favourites out the 4 to go. I mean, it's that desperate.
Harry, I've got to tell you about the approach to the manager. I mean, he's gone in Tudor. I think he's quite, stern with the players. He looks like he's had a go in the press. They're not running enough. He ain't doing this right. They're not doing that right. Is that the right approach? Because, is it a little bit more old school approach, isn't it? Like having a go at players. But players these days are a little bit flaky, aren't they? I don't know if they react to things like that or it goes the other way.
Well, he does. I mean, I don't know the man. I mean, obviously, he's been around a long time. He's managed at top clubs. He looks a bit of a hard nut, doesn't he? He looks like you wouldn't want to have a mess about with him for sure. But you know, I don't know. I don't know if that is the approach. I think that confidence obviously is low. They go out when they play at home. You know, it seems that they've not performed, and they need a bit of confidence. They need a bit of belief in the team. Really, they need. Look to me like they need a arm round them, a little chat with individually every player. You know, and get them on side and make them start believing. Look, go out and as best you can try and enjoy playing football. Because at the moment they do look a bundle of nerves. They really do look on edge, which is dangerous.
It's a strange one, Harry, because looking at it, I take Ray's point. I think it's very difficult to argue when that he said, by the way, he got chewed. I think it's difficult to argue what he said, but you sometimes wonder if it's the right approach. I tell you what my concern is, Harry. I'm looking at it, and I've looked at it for a couple of weeks, and tell me what you think. I might be being overly critical here, but I'm looking at the teams around them, whether it's West Ham, whether it's Leeds, whether it's Forest, and what I'm seeing teams that are having a go. I'm seeing teams that have got their sleeves rolled up and saying, right, if we're going to get down here, we're going down fighting. I'm not sure I'm seeing that at Tottenham, Harry.
No, and West Ham made a couple of signings. Somerville's come now back from injury and is absolutely flying. Him and Bowen, together in the side, got a centre forward now. They're looking very, West Ham are starting to believe, and the crowd there are amazed. They'll get, they'll stay with them. I could see them getting themselves out of trouble. They did look dead and buried 5 weeks ago. Yeah. Not Forest, picking up one or two results, and they've got some decent players. Their Sonny's played free at the back the other night. They look very strong, physically strong. Yeah. They'll be difficult to beat, but they'll have a go. So it's tough. And Leeds don't deserve to be there. They've played very well this year, Leeds. Now they're going every game. The games you've watched where they've led and been pegged back last minute, it don't seem to have gone their way. But I think Forest have, got every chance of staying up. So Tottenham are banging it. There's absolutely no doubt about that at the moment.
Harry, I know you've got a busy week next week, and we all have.
Yeah.
Down to Cheltenham.
I'm with you on Thursday.
Oh, brilliant.
I'm with you, 2 hours.
Fantastic. All I'm going to say, Harry, is that phone, if it rings and it's Spurs, you're going to turn around and come down to the old training ground and have a little word with the players?
Of course I'd have to, wouldn't I? But it's not going to happen, right? So,
well, you never know, Harry, in football.
No, I can't see that happening. I think I'll be at Cheltenham Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday I've got a runner, Tourist Bay, runs in the first race on Wednesday.
Okay.
He's got a chance. He's a 20-1 shot. It's open race, but he goes there with a chance, and Ben likes him. He thinks like he used to tell me about the jukebox man, next year he's going to be, and I think Tourist Bay will be even better next year, but we still think he goes to Cheltenham with a chance. So big day Wednesday, and obviously the biggest day of all for me, it's going to be Friday in the Gold Cup with the jukebox man. Yeah. So looking forward to it.
Harry, I'm going to tell you something, and I think that's when we sat down at that wee crack at the lunch the other day there, which I really enjoyed. I can't tell you how good a race that was, that King George.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking forward to it for weeks before it, but in terms of the finish, it's as good as anything I've seen in years, mate. I actually thought you get headed twice, never mind once.
Yeah, and it was interesting. Ben got off in Ben Jones and said he won despite the ground, which was quite firm, and the trip. He said he needs further. So, we go up a couple of furlongs. The ground hopefully will be a bit softer than it was at Kempton. So, Ben we'll feel we've got a chance. I mean, we wouldn't swap him for anything else. We're not saying we're going to win. It's the most difficult race to win, but we do go there with a real chance.
Harry, just the top of the table, quick look, brilliant week for Arsenal.
Yeah.
They're getting, what football fans are like, they're a fickle mob. Arsenal, they're now getting, 6-7 points clear. They're now getting stick for the way they're playing. People saying they're not getting entertained. That will not bother the Arsenal fans one bit, mate.
No, it won't. No, listen, hasn't the game changed again? Harry, long throws.
Amazing.
I'm watching Spurs. I said to you the other week, Rory Delat, someone's trying to buy him for 50 million.
Harry, with your pal Tony Pulis on this week, man. He's coaching again.
I'm seeing him this morning with a cup of coffee. I mean, he's got to get back in.
Oh,
I tell you what, I bet you they've got now long throw coaches now.
Oh, yeah.
What do you reckon, Harry? Got to have these days.
A long throw, coach. What is it coming to? Oh my God!
Harry, it's bad enough having a set piece coach. Imagine having a long throw coach. What's happening?
I know.
Bench press on the bench press.
A long pass coach or a short pass coach. But I mean, this has gone ridiculous, isn't it?
It really has. But fair play. Just a quick. I mean, fair play to Arsenal. They're still there on all four fronts, mate.
I see them winning the top. They'll win the Premier League, Ali. I'm sure. I think that's no. Man City is obviously still very good, but they're not as good as they were, a couple of years back, in my opinion. De Bruyne, Stones, been injured a lot. Walker, best right back at the time. So they've lost some key one or two. They're not quite the same, in my opinion. They'll be second, but I do think Arsenal will win it. So it's gonna. But they're fighting on all fronts. Champions League.
Yeah,
I think an English team win the Champions League, and they've got a bigger chance as certainly a bigger chance than anybody. So
they've got a great draw.
Could be an amazing season.
Tell you, they've got a great draw. Harry, just a quick one, mate. On a personal note, if you do manage to get back and get that Tottenham job, can you do me a favour? Could you take Jamie O'Hara with you? Honestly, he's breaking my heart listening to him and watching him, mate. It's sad. It's tragic to watch.
Is he? I missed it last night. I must admit.
Harry, the man's
having a meltdown.
The man's crumbling before our very eyes. He's crumbling, mate.
He's a good lad. What a lad he is.
Some boy. Listen, mate, great for you coming on this morning. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Talking to you,
and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
See you next week, Gary.
Take care, mate. Have a great weekend. Brilliant. Brilliant. I bet he's absolutely buzzing for you.
Oh, yeah. You've got a good horse. I've had a few horses back in the day. And when you've got a good one, you're so excited about all the races it's going to. And it's got a chance. And Harry, as you rightly said, that King George was...
What a race, mate.
What a race. And, I'm expecting Harry, Jukebox Man, to go well in this. And Harry's got a sneaky feeling. And
he'll be in with a chance.
What a year. What a couple of races that would be, wouldn't it?
Brilliant. OK, we're going to head to a break. What we're doing next, FA Cup next. Stay with us.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarks Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarks.
The fact that Arsenal, yet again, seem to have grinded out a result, this time at Brighton last night. But Simon, did you say in the passing there seems to be some kind of bias towards Arsenal or against Arsenal? As we went into that break, you were saying to me, there is undoubtedly a bias. Is there a bias?
Well, it feels like there's a narrative being created which then creates its own version of bias. Because all of a sudden we're hearing punditry and commentary which is taking a side and it's not saying to win a Premier League for your first time in 22 years where you don't have the knowledge, you're going to have some guile. Then you're going to have some gumption and you're going to have to be strong and overcome adversity in difficult games. Can you go to Stoke on a wet Tuesday night and win the Premier League when it's ugly? So Arsenal are saying, yes, we can.
Yeah.
We can also top the Champions League.
Yeah.
We can also be in the in finals of the League Cup, and we can also be in the FA Cup. But subsequently, now what's happening is people are going, let's really unpick this and really unwind it and say what we think it should be and judge it by a different set of standards that we've judged other people by.
Right.
Now, I don't like to find myself in the camp where I'm veering towards Keown cul-de-sac.
I was going to say, you crossed the divide.
But I'm not crossing the divide in the way that they are, because I think their observations about punditry is silly, because I think the pundits like Neville and other people go after Man United as much as they go after Arsenal. So they're either good pundits or bad, but you like the pundits or you don't. But I feel that when you start hearing the kind of comments that we're hearing, and now the managers are doing it, I don't think I've heard a manager talk about another manager's choice of play. Yes, when they're one of the lesser sides, when it's like Arsenal were doing it to Bolton because you saw Arsene Wenger bristling, and we all used to laugh going, you can't take it up here.
But you quite liked what Ursula said at the end of that game last night,
didn't you? Not really. I have a bias because he's a Brighton manager.
Football fans all have stadiums we love, but do any of us have a pitch that we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules? Back when association football started, pitches could be up to 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road, not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe for international matches, which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs have been rebels, not intentionally, but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge to adjust. White Hart Lane was exactly the same. And actually, when Spurs temporarily moved to Wembley, they asked the FA to shorten the pitch. The FA, very offended by the sacrilegious suggestion, said no, which in fairness could have actually benefited Tottenham because when they moved into their shiny new stadium, the pitch was exactly the same size as Wembley's. Today, Forest Pitch at the City Ground is a big one. It's 2 metres wider than any other pitch in the Premier League. But the smallest of all, Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 wide. No excuse for not tracking your man. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too. At Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. At least they don't play on a slope like Newcastle do. There's a 2-metre incline on the pitch at St James's Park. And don't get me started on the old pitch at Yeovil too. It used to be a slant of 2 metres corner to corner and across the halfway line. So UEFA have their standards. So do the FA, but they do give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long and between 45 and 90 metres wide. I mean, the rules state you can't have a square pitch, but in theory you could have one that's 91 metres long and 90 wide. Imagine rocking up to play a Sunday League game and the pitch is basically a square. So there are rules and regulations on sizes, with a UEFA standard that roughly everyone follows. But as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
See, he does look as though he's hopping, doesn't he?
Yeah, I just better mention Archie Gray. I mean, he's the only one who's really having a go, and I feel so. He's a young lad. You can't rely on him. Really.
I was impressed with him last night.
Absolutely.
You could see him getting frustrated. Really that aside, but he looks a proper lad.
Yeah, definitely.
Good stock right enough. Good family. Absolutely. Okay, this is talkSPORT with Arnold Clark. Browse UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Ali and Arsenal Invincible. Ray Parlour with you this morning. I just bumped into your man for squeezing the toilet there.
Who?
I went into the toilet there for as to do what we boys do. And I'm standing in a cubicle and a guy walks in and I went, morning. He went, morning. And I looked at him, and I thought, he's a ringer for that guy for squeeze, right? So I came out, I said, have a nice weekend. He went, you too, bye. I've walked through there. And the boys have just told me Squeeze are playing along the road. I bumped into your man in the toilet. Unbelievable.
Lovely.
Right, still lots on the way between now and 10 a.m. Six Nations winner Anthony Watson. Looking forward to that. Anthony's going to be here to look ahead to a massive weekend of rugby as England go to Rome. What's going on with England, man? Honestly, we're going to ask Anthony about his recent comments. Oh, that he cheated a concussion test on his first British and Irish tour. And Sunderland midfielder Luke O'Nien will be with us to talk about their brilliant season. Fantastic season the boys are having. And if a proper cup run could be on as they go to Port Vale on Sunday. Luke has been with the club since 2018, back in League One. He's come all the way through. Looking forward to speaking to him. And of course, I'll be taking your Spurs calls as well on 03717, I beg your pardon, 223344 as well. Harry Redknapp says he doesn't expect the call. What do you think? All that to come, but now it's a huge weekend of FA Cup football. And it all kicks off tonight as Liverpool go to Wolves, seeking some revenge from Tuesday night. Wolves ran out 2-1 winners to make it 7 points from the last 4 games in the league. But could a cup run be on the cards too? Well, it is Connor Cody Derby tonight. He's currently alone at Cheltenham from Wrexham. I'm delighted to say Connor is joining us now. Connor, very good morning, mate. How are you?
Morning, Connor.
Good morning, lads. You okay?
We're in top form, mate. Listen, never mind all that nonsense. How close were you to joining the Rangers?
It's a good question, mate.
I won't tell him, mate.
Yeah. No, it was pretty close. Yeah, it was pretty close, and it was something in the summer I was really keen on. I'm going to be honest, mate. I was really keen on it. For one reason or another, it didn't happen. But listen, you know better than me, mate. It's an outstanding football club, and yeah, one I was really interested in, but for one reason or another, it didn't happen. Yeah.
Oh, I love that, mate.
Brilliant sign.
Tell you right now, I love that. Listen, Con, I'm going to say I was at. I'm there again tonight. I was there on Tuesday night. Wolves Liverpool. I tell you what, right? For a club that, for all intents and purposes, are down, the atmosphere in the place was tremendous. He's got them playing. He's got the crowd reacting to it. I mean, it's going to be another tough game for Liverpool tonight. I mean, one of the goals obviously took a deflection. I thought the first goal was an excellent finish. They beat Villa 2-0, as you know. And
yeah.
I mean, it's no fluke.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant to see, Ali. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm going to be honest. We all know the season Wolves have had. It's been a really tough year. And it's funny, I actually think he made changes in the week against Liverpool to focus on the FA Cup game.
Yeah.
And he's beat Liverpool. So I think it was an interesting decision. It's a decision that's worked. And I think you'll see a few changes from Rob tonight that goes back to the team that beat Aston Villa. But they've been outstanding. They really have. I think since Rob's been in, he had a tough start, a real tough start with results. But I think you could see with the way the club was playing. And this might sound silly, mate, but I actually think knowing where they are in the league when Rob come in has helped him, because I think the crowd have been unbelievable with them. That's the God's honest truth. And
yeah.
I think where they're at the minute, they're in a good place considering where they are in the league. And I think they're playing some great stuff. And listen, I'm absolutely loving watching them picking up results at this moment in time.
I think they're certainly favourites straight away, Connor, aren't they, next season to go up again? I mean, look, it's a shame that what's going to happen to Wolves, but you see at the end of the game against Liverpool, Ali, with the celebrations with Rob, with the crowd. The crowd are right behind them, aren't they, now?
Together.
And if they could have a really good run to the end, you know, it's not going to be enough, but they know they're going into next season with a real opportunity to bounce straight back.
Do you know what I thought, Connor? I looked at it. I mean, I'm watching the game. I thought I was really impressed with Ladislav Krejci at the back, right? And they've got wonderful wee footballers in the middle of the park. The two Gomez, Andre. You know, Mane started. But the big difference when they bought the big fella up front, I thought it was a big difference. He was a handful, put himself out, did really well for the first goal. For a team where they are, they've got a lot of things going for them.
They have, and you mentioned there, and I think the word you used were hit the nail on the head. They've got some lovely footballers. I think you mentioned there Krejci at the back, but I love João Gomez. I absolutely loved him. I loved him before this season. I love him again now. I love the way he's battling, he's fighting. We've got to remember the situation that Wolves find themselves in is really tough. The people were talking about them being one of the worst ever teams, all this, and people are still battling and still fighting. So it's a really tough position you find themselves in, but they're battling for the football club. Listen, I think we all know that a few of them players will be battling for their futures as well, in terms of maybe wanting to get a move in the summer, not wanting to maybe play in the Championship. We've all seen it before. We all know that them sorts of things happen. But going back to Ray's point there about next season, I think a massive part of next season for Wolverhampton Wanderers is Rob Edwards. I think he's brilliant. I think what he's done in the Championship before with Luton, and obviously before he left Middlesbrough, I think he's got real pedigree at this level. And I think he's in the middle and in the midst of building a squad for next season. We've seen it in January in terms of the players who left and the players who come in. So I think he's got a plan in place. I know for a fact the club have got a plan in place, because I still speak to a lot of people at the football club now. And I think it sounds silly what I'm going to say here because of the position they find themselves in, but I think they're in a good place at this moment in time heading into the back end of the season. And that sounds really silly to say that.
It's all about Spurs today, Connor. You know, losing last night. They're now in a massive relegation battle with West Ham and Forest, and Leeds are probably still in it as well. But you've been in relegation battles. Now, what are they lacking? Is it just roll your sleeves up, like Ali said? Forest look like they're rolling their sleeves up, and West Ham are really having a go. But Tottenham, at the moment, they've got really have a good look at themselves as players, haven't they?
100%, Ray. And I think we've just been speaking about it at breakfast there, to be honest with you, mate. And I think when you look at the other teams around them at this moment in time, so we're mentioning obviously West Ham and Forest, they've got players within that team who've been in this situation before. Listen, being in that situation, Ray, you probably will never know because you were part of some incredible.
No, I was a whole city. I was a whole city in the relegation battle. We managed to just best stay up.
He nearly dragged them down, Connor. Don't worry about that.
But them other boys have been involved in these before, and I just felt watching the game last night, and Spurs have never experienced this before. It's a real tough show when you're down there. It's so hard every week. You feel the pressure of the football club. You feel the pressure of the supporters. You've got to be strong. You've got to be brave going into these games. And I watched the game last night. I thought Crystal Palace were outstanding. I'm going to be honest. I thought they were brilliant. But we see an awful lot missing from Tottenham, whether it's within the stadium. There's a real flat atmosphere there. I remember being at Everton and being a part of it with Everton. And the last game of the season, when we went in, we had to beat Bournemouth. And what the crowd got us over the line. It was the crowd who done it for us. The crowd were incredible. What they done to push us and get us over that line. And I just feel like they're missing that little bit at the minute. I watched, obviously, O'Hara and Cundy's clips this morning, and they made me smile a little bit, if I'm being honest. But yeah, they find themselves in a real tough spot. And when you look at the two teams just below them at the minute, they seem to be picking up results, and they seem to have that little bit of know-how to get themselves within touching distance of staying safe, which I don't think Tottenham have at this moment in time.
Connor, my mate's been on to me, a big Charlton man, Leon, and he's told me to get my hands off you straight away, so he's no wanting you to go anywhere. How are you enjoying your football at the moment, mate?
I'm loving it. I love the manager. I think he's brilliant. I love his energy. It was actually something in January where I wasn't necessarily gonna come away from Wrexham. It was only having the conversation with the manager here that kind of gave me the impetus to come here and be a part of it. And listen, the club's fantastic. The club's really good. The fan base, the stadium, everything about it. And we've got a job in our hands. Yeah. It's up to us to do the job properly. And when the manager phoned me in the last week of the window, that was the role. It was basically coming in and being an extension of himself, helping the lads, helping the dressing room as much as I can, and trying to drive it for the last couple of months of the season. So I'm loving it, mate. I'm really enjoying it. The club's brilliant, and hopefully we can pick up a few more wins and get ourselves to where we need to be.
You can tell it sounds great, mate. Yeah. You're in good form. Thanks very much for joining.
Cheers, Connor. Good luck, mate.
Cheers, fellas. Thank you. Good morning.
You too, pal. Have a great weekend. That's former Liverpool, Wolves, Wrexham and current Cheltenham defender Connor Cody there. He always get me the same way, man. He's always buzzing. Great to talk to.
No, absolutely. Brilliant. I'm sure he's brilliant for the dressing room.
Oh, he'd be tremendous.
That's what you need. People with experience, and I'm sure the other Charlton players will really enjoy playing with Connor.
Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely. Sunderland legend Luke O'Nien coming next. Stay with us. 9:14, just going 9:15. So it makes it more interesting, I think, Simon, for fans of other clubs. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
If it was all to finish today and this was in operation now,
you'd go all the way down to 17th with Norwich in the league, having a chance to get into the 8th spot. That's what you do.
Right.
You take 60. You take
it opens up. Yeah.
You take 66% of the league as it sits now. 18 clubs in this league could have a reasonable shout to make a claim for getting 8th spot, because there's 11 games to go in the conventional season. There's 6 points between Derby in 8th and Norwich in 17th.
Right.
And those games, and when you get running at the business end of a season, it really does change the dynamics of how people play. All of a sudden, you've got 66% of the league having something involved. Then you've got the other 25%, or 35%, sorry, sort of going to the Gabby Bongle arithmetic school, the other 34%, which would be fighting for not staying in the division. So you've got constant jeopardy in a league, which actually reminded me when I was over in America looking at the MLS and how they construct their leagues and how many teams get an opportunity to play in their playoffs and participate in outcomes for themselves. They have something like 60 or 70% of the teams in a league any given season that could feature in a playoff scenario.
Right. So it's all Does about... it affect the quality? There's a message coming through there. You're telling me that 8th could end up going to the Premier League. Surely, that ain't
have to
good in terms of the quality of the club that's going to go
well,
up.
There's nip and tuck. More often than not, when you finish 6th in the league, and we went up as a team that finished 6th, there was the points total, I think West Ham finished behind us and Wigan finished behind us in the league, and they were like a point difference. So tell me there's a point difference between 6th and 8th. Pack it in.
Sorry about the delay, guys. Sorry. Oh, I missed Elvis last week.
Fantastic.
I missed him.
Mario.
They tell me his microphone wasn't working.
Yeah, he stood there, Ali, and it weren't working. You never could hear him. I think Ed forgot to put the old volume up a little bit.
I was listening. I was taking a wee man to his school.
And he ended up sitting there with me.
And Big Al wasn't even asking the fella any questions. He was just going, right, sing us another one. Sing us another one.
And it was his birthday as well.
Oh, dear me. Right, talkSPORT breakfast. Ali and Raby this morning. A song has been on the backdrop. One of the stories this season, Can't Help Falling in Love with You, has been belted out of the stadium like by delirious Black Cats fans. 40 points after 29 games, miles clear of the drop zone, and a very realistic chance still of qualifying for Euro. All of that in the first season's return to the Premier League. And I'm absolutely delighted to say joining us now is someone who's been there all the way. League One at the top flight in the space of 4 years. His own story's even better. I love this, by the way. Gone from Ryman League and Conference South to the Premier League.
Brilliant.
It's tremendous. Absolutely.
That's what it's all about, Ali.
It certainly is. I'm delighted to say it's a very good morning to Luke O'Neill. Luke, very good morning. How are you, mate?
How you doing, Luke?
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
Brilliant. It's great to see you, mate. So proud of the boys this season. I've got to say, I mean, it has been and is
absolutely magic. But in all honesty, it's certainly pleasantly surprised me, mate. Has it surprised you and the boys?
I think if you were to put me back when we've just got promoted and then jump me forward to now, I'd say yes. But when you kind of involved every day, you see the work, you see the boys, then no. So yeah, it depends on how you want to ask me the question. At the start of the season, I think I would have been surprised. Because listen, you got to look at history and coming up to the Premier League, it's the best league in the world, and you just got to look how teams that come up and their records. So start of the season, yes, but I get to spend time with these boys every day. I see how hard they work. I know the game plan. So knowing that and learning that this season, no, not a surprise, to be honest with you.
Luke, you must be very proud of your career so far. A long way to go. So, but you've made so many appearances now for Sunderland. Absolutely brilliant. And on social media, you doubted yourself at times, haven't you? But you must not doubt yourself now. You've really cracked it and you're doing so well.
I don't think there's a such thing as cracking it in football. I think the minute you think you've cracked it, I think the game will always find a way to kind of humble you. So, listen, I'm very, very proud of my whole career. I was speaking to the guy that gave my first Premier League in Gordon Bartlett. So without him, without Wickham, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I'm very grateful for the journey, and like you said, there is still a long, long way to go.
Of course, there's a long way to go, Luke. But one of the big things that I noticed, I was at the Cup game, maybe a season or two back when we get turned over by Newcastle, and then I'm looking at the league game, and the difference, is absolutely incredible. How far the club and the team have come. Watching those two games would tell you that. Tell us a little bit, if you may, Luke, about Reggie Labrie, who is doing and has done a quite remarkable job.
Yeah, I think he's been first class, and I think the results show that. I think the biggest difference, because like you said, there's two games in the FA Cup, and then you've obviously got the one in the league. It was chalk and cheese. Yeah. But there was obviously a lot of time between the two games and a lot of work that's gone in between. If I was to say, probably one of the things, don't want to give away all the secrets for the team, but one of the biggest things that the gaffer has done is, if you look at us kind of out of possession, I think we're up there, probably one of the best teams in the league. I've had probably the best seats in the house and watching our defence this season. And the good thing about what our gaffer's done for us this season and over the last couple of years is, if you pause any video at any given moment when we're in our defensive shape, every single player will be able to communicate exactly where they need to be, from left wing to left back. And I think that's the most important thing, that clarity of job, where you need to be, the distances. Ask any winger, after any centre back, everybody can communicate that. And I think that's probably been one of the most important things for me in football is clarity of job. And if everyone's on the same hymn sheet, then I think you've got a good chance of success. And then obviously that's the base for us playing. And then on the ball, we've got some players with some talent, which, I wouldn't put myself in that bracket. That's not my job, but I enjoy kind of being behind them and trying to set up that kind of secure foundations for them to go and work their magic.
Luke, I've got to ask you, recruitment is so important in football clubs, and I thought Sunderland went out and really made statements during the summer, bringing in players. I know one player of yours is Granit Xhaka. I knew him for Arsenal, really good lad, really top player, and he's certainly done brilliant, hasn't he, in the Sunderland shirt?
Oh, he's been first class. I think I did an interview with him after the Leeds game, and I was watching it back, and I think I was still looking at him like, I still can't believe he's here. And listen, there's been many boys from Nordy to Ronaldo, and then the boys that have been here as well. There's so many boys that have added to this group. They're special players, and not just what they do as a player. Like for me, I know everyone sees what Granit does as a player, but as a human being, it's so hard to put into words of just what he adds to the group, kind of that side. For me, for example, this season, I haven't had a lot of game time, but the way he talks to me, the way he still demands from me, it feels like to me that I'm playing every game, because he keeps me involved, he keeps me on my toes, he keeps demanding from me, and he does that throughout the group. And we've got a lot of players that are doing the same thing, and I know I'm just mentioning the skipper there, but we've got a good bunch of players, but more importantly, and the thing that we always drive is human beings wise, that they're top as well. Because when things aren't going well, it's good to have top players, but more importantly, I think when you have tough moments as a club, it's the human beings that you need to rely on, and I can't speak highly enough of the group.
That looks that way. I've got to say, look, you mentioned you had a brief wee chat there about the shape. I was so impressed. I saw you at Chelsea early on the season, mate, and the way you switched at the back for 4 and then defensively straight into a 5. It was like clockwork, mate. And when you've got talent and pace that you've got on your side, it just that particular day everything went so well, and I was so impressed. But you talk about men in your the dressing room, right? And I'll tell you what, you've got a leader at centre back, Big Dan Ballard, man. He has had and is having a season and a half.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know if it's a signal here at the training ground. We're doing well in the league, but we need to update our Wi-Fi. I can say that. Listen, Dan Ballard, I can't speak highly enough of Mr. Dan Ballard, and I've had the privilege of sharing the dressing room for the last 3-4 years, and how he's performing this season, it's literally no surprise to me, because when you keep hitting the standards and the levels that he's done for the last 3-4 years, it was inevitable that he was going to come onto the scene in the Premier League and deliver this high standards, because I've seen his talent. I'm amazed that it's taken the football world this long to see it. And in my opinion as well, he's got a lot more. So, him, I look at his centre-back partnership with Omar, watching them two this season, it's incredible. People sometimes go, do you get frustrated on the bench? I'm like, no, I'm sitting behind two of the best centre-backs I've ever seen in red and white, the levels they hit, the consistency. And I get to train with these boys, and I'm learning from them, and even without playing, I'm improving my game. So, there's people on the sides of them at fullback that are hitting levels that are so consistent and so high. It's one of the biggest reasons we've been successful this season and competitive, and we've got to keep that kind of recipe for now, for the FA Cup, for the rest of the season, and then going into the next. And
Luke, I think you can hear me still, but I just got to mention the fans as well. I mean, it must be great to see Stadium of Light packed again. Ali's played up there as well. You know how passionate the fans are, and they're in a big time again, and well deserved.
Yeah, I was even it's packed out every away end. I think the Leeds atmosphere the other day was special because I think that the Premier League's been incredible, but the atmosphere hasn't quite matched the level. I'd like to say, when you go to a place like Leeds, it makes the game what it is. It's special, and our fans have been like that since League One. We had 35,000 fans in League One, and we're a sellout in the Premier League. So it's special that the fans have always believed in us. They've kept supporting us, and I think we're returning that, and we've still got a lot to do, but I think we're returning that. Them just staying with us now with some good performances this season.
Don't there's any doubt about that, Luke. Listen, all the best, mate. You keep up the good work.
Cheers, Luke.
Tremendous.
Well done, mate.
Thank you. Sorry about the Wi-Fi. It's the club, not me.
No, it's all, mate. Brilliant. We need to get that Wi-Fi sorted.
No, we need to get it.
See, when I was
straight away, there must be a...
I've got to say, I nearly says to Luke, when I was up there, we used to send smoke signals. Right? It got there quicker than that Wi-Fi, to be fair. Now, don't forget, you've got until 4 p.m. today for your chance to win the ultimate summer cricket day out for you and 11 mates. Thanks to Pitch Experiences. Head to talksport.com/win to enter. Coming up, massive weekend, I beg your pardon, coming up in the Six Nations.
great evening for Villa at all. Here's one for you, Gab.
Hi, mate.
You're 17th in the form table. They've seen a 10-point gap with Chelsea chipped away to 3 points. They could be 6th after the next round of games, having fallen 16 points off leaders Arsenal. They've lost 4 home games in 2026, including the FA Cup. Now, Gab, I know,
Hi, mate.
but I'll tell you this, mate, and I said at 6 o'clock, as disappointing as it is, mate, it can't be a great shock to you, because you kind of semi-predicted it to me maybe about 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
Okay, first of all, what I want to say, Ali, is that these players, manager, fan base, cannot feel sorry for themselves.
Yeah.
Aston Villa are in the top 4 as it stands. They're in a knockout stage tie against Lille, which is next Thursday away from home. So it's not all doom and gloom. Has it been a horrendous 2026? Of course it has. But you know what it's like in football, Ali? You can't feel sorry for yourself.
Correct, mate.
If you're the leaders at that football club, if you're the Concerts, the Mings, the Watkins, you're getting these players together and saying, come on, guys, let's not let our season fizzle out. It's not been good enough. Last night, I mean, where do I start? The first goal, Martin, he's not even looked behind his shoulder. That gusto is there. Enter Fernandez has got time on the ball.
It's worth mentioning, Gabby, you got off to a brilliant start, mate.
Yeah. Fantastic goal, and that was more likely from Leon Bailey, taking his fullback on the outside and using his weaker foot to cross it. Goal. But Aston Villa's tactics were similar to when Unai Emery first come in.
Every spring, sports fans in Europe come together to celebrate arguably rugby's biggest annual tournament, the Six Nations. But why is it the home nations, plus France and Italy, and no one else? It all started back in 1871 when Scotland beat England in the very first international rugby match. A few years later, when they could field a team, Wales decided they'd host England and an idea was thought up. With Ireland keen, they formed the Home International Championship, which ran from 1883. In 1910, France was allowed to join, as they were developing into a serious rugby nation, and thus the Five Nations was born. France had an interesting history with the championship. They were actually booted out for paying their players in 1931 when the home nations were keen to keep it amateur. After World War II, though, France were let back in, but it remained a closed shop for more than 50 years. And when another country was let in, it was only really because the Five Nations hand had been forced. Italy was developing into a serious contender, beating Scotland, France and Ireland twice in the same year, meaning in 1999 officials got together and said yes to Italy and it became the Six Nations. So what changes, if any, come next? 7 nations? 8? A promotion and relegation system? Or should we leave it alone and let it remain the great rugby tradition it's become?
Yeah, here we go, 9:36. We're on the home straight, Paul.
Yep.
Friday the 6th of March, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ali and Ray with you this morning, and of course joined by our good friends at Arnold Clark with over 20,000 used cars online to choose from. They will have the car for you. Now, let's look ahead to the weekend's Six Nations action with Funding Circle.
Guinness Six Nations preview on talkSPORT with Funding Circle, the team you can trust with your business finance. Find out more at fundingcircle.com.
Yep, it's impossible for it. Well, it's almost impossible for England to win the Six Nations after 2 defeats from the opening 3 games of the Championship. See Baltic's Red Rose head to Rome tomorrow, where defeat would see England fall below Italy in the table. Elsewhere, Scotland host France and whipping boys Wales. That's a bit harsh. I thought they did better against Scotland. They head to Ireland tonight. I'm delighted to say we're now bringing 3-time Six Nations winner with England, Anthony Watson. Anthony, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us, mate. How are you?
No problem. I'm good, lads. How are you?
Well, in top form, Anthony. Thanks for joining us, taking the time to join us. Now, the obvious question would be, Anthony, watched England opening game. I thought, good performance against Wales. Wales clearly not at their best, probably still not at their best. But since then, the drop-off has been remarkable, is it not?
Yeah, look, I don't think England will be buzzing with their last 2 performances by any stretch. I think, the Scotland game, playing 80 minutes of rugby, 30 of those being with 14 men, made it a proper uphill battle, and fair play to Scotland. We can't take anything away from them. I thought they executed their game plan unbelievably. Finn Russell controlling the show as he does. So being up there as Englishman was a tough weekend for me. But then, I think the Ireland game, I think when it happens 2 weeks in a row, I think that's when, people start getting frustrated. But that being said, I think some of it has been blown out of proportion, if I'm honest, a little bit. England were just on a 12 game unbeaten run going into that Scotland game. And, now people are talking about wanting to rip the whole team up and doing this and doing that. And I just feel like they've forgotten all the good stuff that happened before that. So, look, this weekend is a massive game. No two ways about it. But I think England have got the quality to get the job done.
I was looking at it there. I watched Italy open the game, obviously a good victory against Scotland, Anthony. And I thought, in my unqualified opinion, I thought they did really well and were slightly unlucky against Ireland. So I do take your point, but I don't think it's a gimme.
Oh, no. It's not a gimme by any stretch. Like Italy, I think sort of 6-7 years ago, as an Englishman, when we played Italy, you looked at it and probably thought that you should get a bonus point here.
Yes.
Now, with that squad that they've got, it's not a foregone conclusion by any stretch. And they'll be licking their lips, if I'm honest with you. They'll be thinking that this is their best ever opportunity to beat England. Never done it in the Six Nations. So they'll be coming in hot. And I think with that backline they've got, they're up there with one of the best in the Six Nations for sure, like probably rivaling Scotland. That centre partnership is ridiculous in Brex and Menoncello, and England will have their work cut out trying to keep them out of the game, but that would be one of the pivotal pieces to trying to get the win out there.
In the papers today, mate, is they're saying they miss Owen Farrell. Now he's back now at Saracens. Do you think he'll ever put an England shirt on again?
I hope so. From a bias standpoint, he was the man, mate. He was just an unbelievable bloke, but unbelievable rugby player. It was like having another coach on the pitch. Like, he understood the game inside out, and just for what he does for a squad, leadership-wise, I think he's unmatched. So having someone like that in your team and in your circle going through something like England are going through now would be absolutely pivotal. So, yeah, I would love to see him playing for England again. Like, he's way too good to just be sat at home when the Six Nations is on, to be honest with you. But he's got his own plan, and you kind of got to trust that, I guess.
Anthony, tell me, mate, I think we've been doing our best to wind Fabian Galtier up, because he's been complaining about the size of the dressing rooms. The boys can't get room. They're getting changed in the corridor and all that stuff. I'll tell you the one thing I would say. I watched DuPont's first game back. I went to Glasgow and I saw him play, and I've watched them. Bielbiari's been absolutely outstanding, I think, mate. And I think the best rugby I've seen in the tournament, well, so far, was the first 40 minutes against Ireland on that Friday night. I mean, it's a great game, obviously at Murrayfield, but the French look so strong, mate.
Yeah, it's hard to look past France at the moment, if I'm honest with you. Like the way that they're playing the game, and you combine that forward pack and how they go forward with the fluidness of the back line, and just them playing such a typically French way, keeping the ball alive. It makes it proper tough for any defensive team to try and keep them out of the game. And like you said there, mate, when you combine Jalibert and Dupont at 9 and 10, it's a proper task to keep them out of it. But I think that being said, mate, Scotland have traditionally done well against France at Murrayfield. They've always kept it close. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago where France had a red card and Scotland got the job done. But if you look at the two styles of play, I think it makes for a real entertaining game. Yeah. And so for the neutral, which I will be, it'll be amazing to see. But I just think France have got too much power up front. I think that forward pack, when they get going, it gives Dupont and Jalibert the license to be freer and just to bring everyone else into the game. And like you said as well, BL Barry, give him an inch and he's gone. So yeah, I think that they're too good, mate. I can't see past them, if I'm honest. I know that probably breaks your heart, Ali, but I'm sorry, mate.
Anthony, I've got to ask you this question. I think you want to talk about it anyway. You admitted that you cheated your concussion test when playing for the Lions. Explain, what was it about, and do you regret it?
Look, I think that if I'm honest with you, again, this has been slightly blown out of proportion. Yeah. The manner in which I explained that situation was that I was highlighting how much better the tests have got, i.e. you can no longer try and memorise the group of words, which I did. And, subsequently the protocols in place are miles better than they were. I think, if I'm honest with you, I made the best decision for me personally at the time with the information that I had in front of me. And it was my absolute dream to play for the Lions from sort of 5-6 years old, watching it with my old man at 7 in. So I wanted to do everything I could to ensure that I could represent the Lions when I had the opportunity. So yeah, that's my stance on it. I will say is that, again, like the medical team that I worked with the Lions were absolutely top notch. Some of the best I've ever worked with, and it's not an ideal situation, but I think that rugby definitely I can hand on heart promise you that it's improved no end from a protocol standpoint, to the point where you can't get away with stuff like that. Like there's way too many nuances to the protocols now to be able to try and find ways out of it. Independent doctors, smart mouth guards, an enhanced HIA protocol, all of that means that it's not possible. And then for the community game, I think the tagline of any suspected concussion is an immediate removal. I think having that means that people are more protected than they've ever been.
Yeah. Anthony, just a quick one, and it'll be a short one because I've got to go to break, but thanks again for your time. Wales, a lot of improvement. You can argue they're a little bit unlucky against Scotland. You're just hoping, I think everybody's hoping that they're now heading in the right direction.
Yeah, I think they are. Honestly, I think they are. Steve Tandy, I've worked with him. He's a brilliant coach. So I've no doubt that eventually Wales will get back to where they need to get to. As a proud Englishman, I can't say that there's not a part of me that's enjoying seeing Wales in this rut. But yeah, we'll keep that going.
Well, Anthony, I hope that Galty is complaining. Never mind about the size of the dressing room. I'm hoping he's coming off his face, tripping them at Murrayfield, although I'm not so sure. They do look strong. But thanks very much for your time, mate, and you enjoy your rugby this weekend.
Cheers, Anthony.
Cheers, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much. Anthony Watson there, 3-time Six Nations winner with England. For a full preview of the Six Nations Round 4, head over to the talkSPORT YouTube channel. That indeed was our look ahead to the Six Nations with Funding Circle.
Guinness Six Nations preview on talkSPORT with Funding Circle, the team you can trust with your business finance. Find out more at fundingcircle.com.
Fabrizio Romano is the man in question here. But the question that goes from many people at this particular time regarding Fabrizio is there a fine line between being a top journalist and being an influencer? Or can you be both? What's Romano done? He's been criticised after he posted a video on Twitter to his 27 million followers, which essentially, in the eyes of many, was an advert for Saudi Arabia and their humanitarian aid. Now, the video itself is about a couple of minutes long, but we've cut it down. This is Fabrizio.
King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center. Over 10 years since its inception, the center has implemented 4,212 projects in 113 countries worldwide, reflecting the leading humanitarian role of Saudi Arabia. 155 cases evaluated, patients from 28 countries across 5 continents. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia ranked second globally and first in the Arab world in humanitarian aid for 2025 and topped the list of the largest donors according to the United Nations Financial Tracking Service, FTS.
So for 2 minutes, Fabrizio tells us and lauds and applauds the work that is done by the King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Centre. But some other journalists have laid into Fabrizio for the post, some suggesting now that he helps unsettle the transfer market by putting up paid posts from agents and others.
I know the producer's looking at me. I need another 20 seconds of that. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to one of the greatest, I think, certainly one of the greatest guitarists of all time, Dave Gilmore, who I believe some of the guys sent in a message. He lives down in the south coast.
Is he?
And his daughter was playing. She's a musician as well. Brilliant. And seemingly he turned up and walked on stage with her.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Legend.
He certainly is. Happy birthday, Dave. Now, the team everyone's talking about for the wrong reasons this morning, Cheltenham Hospital lost again last night. Their 14th league loss of the campaign. They're still yet to win a Premier game in 2026. In fact, 6-tier Mansfield Town have beaten more top flight sides in the calendar year than they have. Last night's sports bar with former Tottenham midfielder Jamie O'Hara was legendary. Jamie didn't take it too well.
Let me just attack O'Hara because...
No, have a
Why are you attacking me, by the way? Why are you attacking me, Matt, by the way?
O'Hara alone.
I don't play for Tottenham. I'm not making decisions at Tottenham, am I? So don't attack me. What are you talking about? I'm sick of you coming on here thinking you can attack me like I'm making decisions at Tottenham.
Let Matt speak.
Like I'm in charge of the recruitment. Like I'm in charge. Like I'm taking the training sessions. No, you come on here all the time and you dig me out. What are you on about?
Do you know why? Jamie, do you know why? Jamie, do you know what? Listen to me. Do you know why I dig you out? Because you know what?
Because what?
For months and a year, you've been backing them by not talking
about them. Who have I backed? Who have I backed?
Listen, you've always picked at the managers. Always picked at the managers.
What am I going to do? Dig out every manager that comes in at a football club?
Listen to me. You've got to get rid of Ange. Do you honestly think Ange is the problem?
He finished 17th.
Mate,
he finished 17th.
Done well. Done all right, you know.
Jamie.
Don't keep coming on here, Matt. Don't keep coming on here and trying to dig me out like I'm in charge at Tottenham, like I make decisions, like I'm in the dressing room putting on training sessions. Who are you talking to?
Cundy,
he's brilliant.
Cundy's unbelievable.
He's put them little digs in.
Let Matt speak. He had a wee and then he threw in a done well. Well, it wasn't even the Spurs fans, just the first Spurs fans that O'Hara was falling out with. Even clash your big J's. Take a listen to this.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The football club. It's unbelievable. The people in charge of this football club. One of the biggest clubs in the world. And an absolute mockery. We're a mockery of a football club that we've allowed this to happen.
Are you going down?
And the fans have had to accept it.
You're going down.
Chase, shut up. Don't ask me again. Seriously. Like, I'm trying to do a show here. I'm trying to have a say. And you're going to sit there and just try and mug me off for 2 hours. I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it.
Oh, you asked a question. No problem, mate. It's not my fault you got beat tonight, is it? I wasn't playing second half.
That was brilliant. Jace, he's top class at that. Just little wind-up move.
Absolutely brilliant. The former Tottenham captain and manager Tim Sherwood had his say on interim boss Igor Tudor, who has lost all 3 games so far, and whether he can guide Spurs to survival.
They just need to find a way. They need to find a way to try and get out of this. And the one thing I would say, they can't keep worrying about who's not there. I think the manager has to be positive and he has to try and find a solution, a way of playing what suits the players, not playing them out of position. They've got players. Stop worrying about what's on the injury side because you ain't getting them back. Give the confidence to the ones who are there and find a playing style what suits them the best and stick to it and try and get as many points you possibly can.
Well, with it all this morning, obviously Tim was on and another former legend of the game, never mind just Tottenham, Harry Redknapp, but he's saying the mess at Spurs, and he even said they're the most likely to go down out of everyone, which I find very, very difficult to disagree with.
Yeah, another disaster. I mean, and the more you look, listen, 4 or 5 weeks ago, Ali, I didn't, I really couldn't see Tottenham being involved in a relegation scrap. It's every week's gone by, it's got worse. West Ham are now playing very well, which is great. Forest picked up a big point the other night, and the only other side getting sucked in now is Leeds. Yeah. They've got sucked into that battle as well. I thought they were clear because they've had a good season and played ever so well. But Tottenham are banging it now, must be truthful. They're looking like, they could even be favourites out the 4 to go. I mean, it's that desperate.
Tell you it is, mate. It is. Well, listen, mate, thoroughly enjoyed this morning.
Ali, always a
Company's
pleasure,
been
mate.
brilliant, mate. How's your weekend looking, pal?
What am I doing tomorrow? I'm probably go down, watch the football as usual. The early game, Mansfield Arsenal, so I'll be watching that one.
Have a good game.
And then down to Cheltenham Sunday. So I'm looking forward to seeing Alan down at League and Arms.
Big week ahead.
And it's a big week, and I'm really hoping Harry can get a few winners. We had him on earlier, but let's hope he can get winners, and especially in the Gold Cup, Jukebox Man.
It's a great week, isn't it?
Absolutely
beautiful place you're staying. You in Broadway?
Yeah, Broadway, just outside Broadway.
Lovely, mate.
So not too far away, but it's a real good atmosphere, Ali. You've been there and seen it, and everybody has a great time. And let's hope I can make the 5 days as well.
That's the question. Never mind, bug out.
Don't know about Al. I'm the one.
Well, listen, enjoy your golf. Hit your golf ball today.
I'm going to go and play golf at the Heron today, so the weather's not looking too bad. Not as good as yesterday, but as long as we get round, Ali. Few of the boys today, and them Danny old rubber dub after.
Magic, mate. Cannot beat it. Enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and enjoy next week, Ray. Thanks for your company.
Cheers, Ali.
And thank you guys out there for your company. We hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we have. It's been a brilliant morning. And do not forget, Harry said there is no chance you'll get a call from Sports. You'll hear him live on talkSPORT at Cheltenham next week. That is for sure. And don't forget, Big Al is back. Looking forward to seeing Big Al in good form at Cheltenham next week. An unmissable listen from Monday to Friday. I think it's John Joe's early Monday.
I can't wait for John Joe's. Is a brilliant.
Wonderful, great setup, isn't it?
Seeing all the horses all coming out and the jockeys going round to get
magic, yeah.
And all the owners come in. We have a little bit of refreshment, Ali, about 9 o'clock, 10
Lovely.
o'clock. So it's
Andy T's with you, I think.
Andy, top man Andy. So he'll be coming to the pub with us after as well. So
great stuff.
Can't wait.
It's a sensational week, so you make sure you enjoy it. So stay with us. We're just going to 9:57. We're going to go to the news, but coming up next, Sam, Alex and Gabby.
Shut up!
David, good morning, mate. First
good
of all,
morning, David.
Morning, all.
David, here's a quick one for you, mate. I know we'll not be talking European football. We'll calm everything down. I want to start with this statistic, right, which I would imagine would please you as much as anything. Everton, after reaching the 40-point mark in 28 games, that's only the second time they've done that in 9 seasons. Now, I reckon that in itself is an achievement. But, and I know you'll play it down, you must have a wee thought about